All right, and we are live. For those of you guys that are watching this live or you're watching this recording, as usual, every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we coaching a handful of guys on their agency, everything from running ads to generate inbound leads to doing the discovery sales calls, operations, scaling, all that kind of stuff. If you are interested in receiving coaching, simply go down to below this video. There's a link where you can book a call, have a conversation with myself to learn more about our program. And if I can help you, that link will take you to an application page, which you have to apply for, by the way, first. All right. What's going on, Righteous? Hope you're doing well, bro.
Yo, what's up? I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good, good. You're hazy today, foggy, man.
I was looking at that. I have to.
There you go.
All right. Now we
So,
in.
how you doing? You chilling? A good
Yeah,
weekend?
yeah, good weekend. I got a lead yesterday. I was excited. I called him this morning, but it just went straight to voicemail.
Okay.
Uh, but he booked the time for today at 7:30, so I'll probably hop off and dial him again to see if he picks up. But
What
I've
kind
had a couple times where like
was
they won't respond until like it's up close towards like the time they booked.
was it a regular email or a business email?
Looks like a regular email.
Okay. Did you by any chance use their first last name?
Yeah, Jason Chacon, and then the last. I mean, it has a Gmail.
Gotcha. You try maybe Googling the name, first name, last name, painter.
That's what I was. I was thinking about that, but I was like, let's see.
Yeah, might find something from that. Jeremy, Mason, hope you guys are doing well. Mason, hope you're hanging in there, bro.
I'm chilling, bro.
I just saw your message a little bit ago, man. I'm sorry about that.
You're good, man.
Ah,
Um,
this might be legit.
you find him?
I think so. It's a couple of Jason, like his first and last name. Like there's a LinkedIn profile. He's like a sales manager, owner at Capital Paint Pros.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, something. He's something.
Yeah, and the Instagram.
I don't know if there's a website. Usually, what I try to do is if I'm Googling by name, I try to get their website and then I try to find the phone number from there. Try
Oh,
DM and stuff.
I think I did find his website, but let me make sure that's the right phone number. Capital Paint Pros. No, it's a different phone number on the website from what he put in, but he could have put in his personal.
Yeah. But um, let's see here. We can go get started. I think, Jeremy, for you though, I want to wait till like Aiden gets in because I think Aiden's going to be your go-to person for your question regarding lead form quality, instant forms. So I think he's going to know a little bit more than I do regarding this one. I don't know if Mason has any feedback for you. Mason, do you see Jeremy's question by any chance? So he's basically wondering if there's a way to improve lead quality from instant form ads, where you ask questions, but it doesn't like kill the results. It seems like his results are way less. Do you have anything on that? Because I haven't heard anything other than that's kind of the truth.
Um, nah, man. To be honest, like when I used Facebook lead forms, I just used the name, email, phone, and that always worked well for me. Sometimes it's just one of those things where you just got to do a lot of volume to find the right people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what especially these newer clients. That's what I'm getting hurt on, or at least that's, I wouldn't say they're mad or complaining. It's just they usually the first thing out of all their mouths is, man, these leads just aren't very good. They always say they forgot, they didn't fill it out, they've never heard of us. And then of
What
course,
what was your lead cost? What's like let's look at a specific person. What's your lead cost if it's just name, email, phone number versus if you add in a question? Like, is it $5 to $10 all of a sudden, or is it like $5 to like $7?
let me pull one up real quick. Um, and then I just had a couple things I wanted to throw past you so you get your thoughts on
Okay.
as well as this. But let me just,
This might be an idea where, like, you know how you can put custom questions on the form
right,
instead of just having it so their information is already populated, their name, email, phone. What you can do is you can just have three separate questions. Be like, what is your name? What email address is it? And what phone number can we contact you at? And then having them have like the three separate questions, if that makes sense.
right. Okay.
So they have to go through it individually.
That's a good idea. Yeah, the question I did the three, the easy things, and then just added like, what's the best day for you, and everything dropped. Now, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but like
Have you tried different questions? I feel like that's kind of a tough question because somebody doesn't fully. I understand the logic behind it. Like it'll really drive intent up or in quality because now they're kind of tell you like, oh, I want the specific date. But like if I'm trying to position myself as somebody that is click on an ad, I don't fully know trust this brand yet. Yeah, I don't mind giving my name, email, phone number if that's my behavior according to Facebook. But then the moment it's like book something, it's like, I'm kind of gonna get a little bit of like, I don't know, and then maybe I click away or something. Versus something else might be a better, I don't know, thought could be like, hey, name your phone number. It's like, what area are you looking for? Or what is kind of like the pain point? Or what are you looking like that might be easier for them to solve. That's like knee jerk, like, oh, I know exactly why I clicked on this ad.
right, okay. It's actually the one person I've done this for. This is reverse of what I thought it would be. When we didn't have any questions. Now, granted, this we made the change on October 1st. The ads actually started on September 26th. So, I mean, basically, it's the same amount of time, minus a day or two. But when we didn't have the question on there, the lead cost was 1674. When I added the question, it dropped to 727. So maybe that's just a blip in the matrix. That doesn't make any sense. But
Did you change the creative copy targeting anything?
nope, just added that question on the form.
No additional
Now,
ad set, same ad set?
yeah, everything's the same. Now that I don't know if anybody else had this happen, and you can see it on Google and you can check the Go High Level status page, but on around September 30th or October 1st, they had some outages, several outages, and it's caused leads to stop showing up in the opportunities page. So the one person I did this question, added the question on for, the leads were showing up in the Meta Ad Center, but not on Facebook. But basically, every client I had, all their leads stopped showing up on October 1st. So I had to go through and disconnect and reconnect everything, resync everything. And of course, there were two accounts, this being one of them, that even if you did all the troubleshooting, it just didn't work. And I spent some time with Go High Level today on Zoom, and they told me it's coming around. Hang on. There's just a few we're having some trouble with. So anyway, she got like 38 leads in that time where none of us knew that was happening.
Mhm.
And so I just fixed it all for her today. So she's calling on those. We'll see if the actual results get better. But I just wondered because it's above everything I do. I think I'm training people pretty well on, listen, this is what you have to do. This is when you have to call. This is what you should have to say. They're very amenable to me talking to them and training them and giving them scripts and coaching. Some of them are even giving me like recorded calls, and we're getting to go through them together. So that's been fantastic. And I enjoy that. Getting leads has been good. That's just, I would say, my Achilles heel right now, that I don't have a good answer for is just getting better quality on the leads. That's all. And I've done the same thing, is told them, listen, this is a numbers game. You're only going to get to talk to about 10% of the actual leads that come in. Make sure you're doing the things that we've coached and worked and trained on during those 10 calls. Don't let the other 90 where you didn't get to talk to somebody or they were rude or whatever affect what you do on that new chance. That new phone call, it's got to, each one has to be brand new, and you have to take that enthusiasm into each call. And everybody seems to, they're all real receptive to that. But the main feedback I'm getting right now is there anything we can do to make the quality better? And I've told them we can add questions to the form. Now Meta has where you can require the SMS, the one-time password. That just is like a death nail. When you do that, it's over. You don't get anything when you do that. So I've said, well, let's start with just like one little question, see what that does. And this is the first person I did it with. So it's not like it's something that's dragging me down into the mud or anything. This is the one thing I've been watching videos on and just didn't know if anybody had any experience where they were like, well, I tried this and it seemed to do a little bit better. I think I
Yeah.
knew kind of the answers coming in. I was just hoping, somebody throw something at it that I hadn't thought of.
I know Aiden spent a crap ton of money on instant format, so it looks like he's popping in right now. So I'll ask him for you. Um,
The
but
other two things I had for you, Koshik, is I don't know how. The lady who was telling me about her, and I put the question on down in there in Orlando, Florida. They have 3 locations: Orlando, Windermere, and in the villages. The old people where they all have STDs because they can't stay off of each other. But she had a client come in based on the offer I put out for her, and was just telling her, I loved your ad. I loved how it worked. I loved the landing page. Who did that for you? And she told her. And then gave her a link to book with me without asking her, what do you do? Well, the lady called me and I said, she asked me if I could do anything other than med spas. I said, well, I'll listen to what you have. Let me see. And it's a running shoe company down in Orlando that is not like going to Dick's or anywhere else. And I'm sure you're a fitness guy. I know Mason is. You've seen these little like niche running shoe stores where you go in and they have you walk, they have you stand on a scale. They have all these machines that essentially tell you, this is your gait, this is how you're walking, this is the shoe you should wear. When you're walking, this is the shoe you should wear when you're running. And it, like, each one of these customers come in, and when they do that, they'll end up buying $500, $600, $700 of shoes for like 3 different, jogging, running, and hiking, and all these different styles of shoes. So I told her, I said, I think that it's obviously very different than medical spas, but what you're trying to do is get appointments to get people to come in so you can have them do this test, and then you upsell them to the shoes. It's a very similar thing to what I'm doing for the medical spa. So we're meeting tomorrow. I'm going to listen a little bit more to what she says, but I may just give that a try because the overall process is the same. And I got to look inside her, she let me get on Zoom with her and look at her Facebook, her Meta account, and all that stuff. And they're just not doing a really good job for it, the company that she's using. And they're paying her a lot of money, or she's paying them a lot of money. So I think it's like low hanging fruit for me as far as the sale goes. I know it's outside of the world of medical spas, but the format is the same. She just needs to get them in the door to upsell them to the better products. So
how much how much is she paying the other company?
I wanted to say she's paying them she pays them like 1,500 and then is spending another 1,500 on ad spend.
Yeah.
Now I'll know for sure tomorrow, so I'll double back on that and let you know.
And
But
then like what's the ROI that they're generating for her if you know, if you don't know, when you looked at the so what I'm trying to get at
it's
is,
horrible. She's getting nothing.
so that's what I'm getting at is like when you say that her results are crappy, obviously we know simply by the ROI, but also when you looked at the ads and stuff, to you, is it very obvious that they're not doing a good
Yes,
job? So, like,
yes.
what would
Oh
you do?
man, there were so many. The ad, the only ad she's running, it's like three, if you were thinking of a 1080 by 1080, a 1 by 1 image, it's three pictures of people wearing these shoes with extra cushion on them. And then it just says something about the name of the shoe and, click on here to learn more. That's it. And the copy
And then
has
that
nothing to
drives
do with what she's trying to do. What you froze up a little bit there.
is it driving traffic to like an opt-in page? An
Just
application?
a basic, like it would be like
Is it
going
driving traffic?
there is no, they're not even trying to book an appointment. She said we tried to do that for a little while and it didn't work. I said, was this the ad you were using? And she said, yes. She said, so we just changed it now where they click on it and it goes to this website. And the website is just a page where you buy shoes. That's it. There's like 50 different pairs of shoes. There's nothing saying why you should. This is just their regular, like if you stumble onto a Dick's Sporting Goods website.
Have you done a little bit of funnel hacking to see similar businesses to hers that are selling these custom-made shoes and see what kind of ads they're running on
I
kind of?
ha I haven't yet. And she doesn't make the shoes. I forget the name of the brand of the shoe. It starts with an O, but it's essentially for people like Orlando-ish people that are older, maybe would be,
Yeah.
people who are struggling and have pain and arthritis, or maybe I don't know. So I'm gonna, I didn't get to talk to her very long the other day. So my hope is we have a scheduled meeting tomorrow for 3 o'clock. I'm gonna really dig in a little deeper, and I'll get some competitors. But we have a shoe store like that here in Kansas City, just right up the road from me. So I was gonna, but I looked at their Facebook page and all, they're not doing anything. So,
So,
they,
so what do you think my thoughts are? Because I know you're gonna do whatever you
I
want
know
to.
the reason I tell you I know your thoughts are, hey, you're doing med spas, stick to it. But, I,
So it's not even that. When I look at this, because I know you and I had a conversation about like, hey, look, I've seen, you're on Amon's paths and I'm wondering different niche and this and that. And so I have like that hasn't left my mind. And I definitely think like once somebody has enough experience, it makes sense for them to like dabble and test other things. Like I think you're definitely at that stage where it makes sense if you wanted to dabble in something. But like as you're talking to me about this, the common sense thing to me, Jeremy, is to me it's very obvious, just like the Russian couple. Like to me, this is super obvious that like from a place of business, and I told you that like weeks, months ago. I was like, this is exactly what's going to happen, and it happened. And w when it comes to this, it's like, okay, well, if somebody's paying $1,500 a month, I'm looking at, okay, they're selling shoes $600. Okay, great. LTV might be great, but then okay, you're telling me that they're outsourcing. Okay, profit margin is probably not that high because they're outsourcing, they're buying from somebody else. Okay, and then cost per acquisition would probably be through the roof because it's a unique thing. It's not some like instant, it's not like some med spa thing. It's not like some tattoos where people are going to easily, you have to do quite a bit of education. So your ad has to be on point. And then furthermore, what else is going through my head is, okay, let's just say theoretically figure it out. Well, do we have more business like that that's scalable? Does it make sense to put the time and energy and the effort into figuring this out one time because then you can copy and paste it? Where with med spas, you figure it out one time and it's very copy and pasteable versus this. I actually don't think it's very similar. And then the other thought that goes to my thought, I was like, if you're going to explore this, what's the same thing as running the 6 figure 6 week sales funnel, getting a bunch of business across very different niches? It's literally the same thing. The only benefit that I see here for you, in my opinion, respectfully, is this is just an easy layup. It's an easy $1,500, but then you're going to pull your hair out.
yeah, I'm considering, I'm going to talk. That's why I scheduled the second call with her. Is we didn't get to talk the first time. A lot of these questions you're going over, I have written down. I just wondered what your overall thought was, because to me, it just from the outside, I thought, look,
It's an easy 1,500. That's it.
well, if she signs with 3 months, it's 4,500. So
It's
that's,
it's an easy 15 to 4,500 with a lot of mental stress.
yeah. I I don't know. I tread mental. I deal well with mental stress. So,
Uh,
as long as there's a price tag with it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but anyway, it's just something I was throwing out at you. I appreciate your advice on it, because I just kind of wanted to hear if I'm like
I don't see
in the
like
right room.
whenever I look at anything, I just think, what is the long term? I got this YouTuber. So I mean, I don't want to spend too long here, but like, okay, maybe I'll just share this with you because I know I talk from a place of like, stop, don't do, stop. And so let me just show you. I practice what I preach. Uh, let's see here. Actually, give me a second here. Give me a second here. Let me find this. Okay, here it is. Hmm. Okay. So I have this whole document that has like potential ideas for business. 'Cause I'm not going to be here for the marketing cheat code for like ever. In fact, we're probably here for like another 3 months. I think I shared that with you, Jeremy. And then I don't know where we're going to be, what we're going to be doing. And so I said, okay, the next business I want to create, it works with ads. The ROI is at least this, does not require me to constantly post. I don't have to take sales, so I don't have to build a sales team. Service delivery is this, product is this. Like it meets the 100 criteria. It meets the criteria for 7 figures. Like I've had all these things. And so now I have literally like probably a dozen business ideas and I haven't pulled the trigger on any one of them. And so each of these are like, in my opinion, like 7 figures plus, 7, 8 figures, and I don't do them. So I'm not gonna do something for 1,500 bucks. I'm not gonna do. And so I have this. I got this buddy. He's a YouTuber. He's got about 100,000 subscribers. His name's Michael Tobin. You might know him. He's a filmmaking YouTuber, and every YouTube video he makes. We had a meeting this past weekend. He makes about 68 sales. So 68 sales per YouTube video. That's his average. And Mason knows him. Mason met him. And so then we did the math. I'm like, okay, let's just worst case scenario, 35. Okay. And then we did the numbers and we realized if we do 10 sales or 10 videos a month, he's going to bring in over 6 figures. I think it's like some ridiculous amount, like 200,000 or something. He just doesn't fucking know how to do it. He doesn't know because he sells like a $47 course or $27.6. He doesn't have upsells to it. He doesn't have a 497 course. He doesn't have a coaching program. And I'm sitting there like, dude, you're sitting on so much fucking money. And yet, like, we just have to like add these things to it. And I know that if I just help him build that funnel, I know that if I work with him and do a profit share deal with them, I know that it's like an easy $200,000 a quarter for me. And so I look at those kinds of potentials because I know the amount of time and energy that's going to go into it. And like that makes sense. And so I'm just sharing this with you because I practice what I preach. And I would not like again, if you're thinking about this $1,500 thing, yeah, $1,500, 4,500, but like in the grand scheme of things, there's way bigger and more opportunities if you open up your eyes and just kind of
So let me
focus on
throw
other
another one
things.
at you then.
Oh no, here's the second thing you want to go over. Here's the
Yeah.
second.
So I've known this guy for 5 years. He owns 5 businesses. Two of the businesses gross over $1 million a year. He's been doing this since 1985. His main company's is a frame building company. So you want to build a custom home. You generally you have your general contractor, and then he contracts out all the stuff underneath to build the home. One of them is building the frame of the home. The other business he owns that is just making money is custom built homes, and he generally won't build a home unless it's $1 million. And I've known him forever. And one day he came in here, and I think I was on a Zoom call trying to get a sale with a med spa, and he waited. He's like, "What are you doing?" I showed him. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to, get this lady to buy." And then here's what I do. I get him a funnel and this and this and this. He's like, "Holy cow, this is what I've been looking for. I didn't know you did this stuff." And I'm like, "Well, I only do it for medical spas because Koshik won't let me do it for anybody else." And he's like, "Who's Koshik?" And I'm like, he's not on your level, dude. You can't mess with Koshik. There's levels to this game. You're not there yet. Anyway,
I'm liking this story so far. This is
yeah,
I'm pretty sure 70% is real and like 30% is made up. I don't know which one's which. I'm guessing the last part was, but go ahead.
I'll let you. Yeah, I'll let you figure it out. Um, anyway, he said, "Well, what if I paid you monthly to get it all set up, just like you're doing with your medical spas? And once you get it running, I give you a little budget for ads. And let's say I sell one of these $1 million homes. Like would you run ads on Facebook and Instagram toward people who might be wanting to build a custom home?" And he said, "Right now I'm only doing a couple a year. I'd like to increase that to about, you know, 3, 4, 5." And I said, "What about 10?" And he's like, "Yeah, as many as I can get. That's fine." And I said, "Well, if I was able to get you like 10 homes every year and they're all worth $1 million, it's $10 million. What would you pay me off of that?" He said, well, I'll just pay you your fee to do all the work. And if I can track a home to your lead, I'll give you 10% of the profit, which in that case for each home would be about $50,000 in addition to being paid the monthly stuff. So I would still get to make my $1,500 a month, just running his system, creating ads, all that. And then if a lead comes in and his guy makes a sale off of it, which I would know because it's all in Go High Level, I get 10% of the profit of the home, which usually runs around, he was saying anywhere from 25 to $50,000 is what that number would be. And he said, if you got me 10 homes, that's $500,000 in the best case. And I was like, I better talk to Koshik. So I mean, he's a really good friend of mine. So I've told him, first of all, my nerves around working with somebody I know who is a friend. You know, I've explained to him, if we do this, we are going to put a contract, something in place so we can separate business from personal. Because I don't want to lose you as a friend if it doesn't work right, or, you know. And I certainly don't want to have to take you to court or you take me to court. I just want it all set up so we know exactly how it works, how it does, because anytime there's a disagreement, we just go back to the rules. What do the rules say? That's how it is. And he's like, yeah, that'd be great. So I told him I would chat with you guys and I think it's an awesome opportunity because he literally has like a 2-page website. He has no Facebook page. He has no Instagram page. It does no advertising. Everything he gets is basically word of mouth and referrals. And so I did start going around looking at other custom building home websites in Kansas City. I looked for any kind of ads. None of them are really doing anything because they're all so big. They don't really need to, you know, they just have been around for so long, or they build a home and somebody sees the home being built and they call them up and hire, you know, I don't know. I'm not seeing any ads. And most of the websites and social media presence is pretty slim pickings. So it feels like to me, I have an opportunity to maybe jump in here and do something that none of his competitors are doing. Maybe get into a place and get a foothold in an area where I might be able to generate some real results. Of course, you know, I told him there'll be a lot of experimenting, failing forward in your phrase, but once we could figure it out, if I was getting you enough leads where you just sold one house, one custom home every month for 10 months, 12 months, whatever, he's like, yeah, I'll make enough money. I'll just sell the company and then I'll give you equity shares of that. I'm like, okay. So it to me, when I think about it, when I look at it, we've had 2 or 3 meetings to kind of iron out how it would go. It feels very exciting, like something like I really want to do. I want to give this a shot. The shoe thing, I could take or leave. And to be honest with you, it probably won't happen because I don't know. I just don't have a lot of confidence that it will. We had the one meeting and she scheduled other meetings and canceled them and rescheduled for tomorrow. So it just kind of feels like she's kicking me down the road. Like maybe she's told the other company, hey, I'm talking to somebody else and they're offering her better deals and she's using me for leverage. But this is real. And
I like
this
this one a
isn't,
lot better. I like this one a lot better because, like you said, again, I'm just thinking future, long term, maximum output for minimum input, right? And
yeah,
leverage. And so this sounds like it has leverage. Um, what comes to my mind is, I mean, a few things is like, okay, how do I maximize this? One, let's just say theoretically I do make a sale. Well, how do I make sure that, let's say I do make a sale, how do I set something up so that if somebody does see the house, if somebody does see something and somebody comes from that, well, I'm paid on that as well because that's a
yeah,
byproduct of my efforts. So
we're working on that. So yeah, so I mean, it's
more
obviously,
importantly, more importantly, I would say the most important thing, Jeremy, is I think you're doing good in terms of like doing research. But here's the thing: when you have a $1 million home, the cost per acquisition is so much different than
yeah,
selling a $500, $200 facial,
yeah,
right? So if I'm you, if you think about it, okay, let's just say theoretically his profit is $50,000 to 25,000. Let's just go conserve 25,000. Well, what
That's
if it
what I would
costs?
do. Yeah.
And so what if it, right, 25,000 to 50,000 profit that you would get? What if it would cost us 20,000 to make the sale, right?
Yeah. And I've
It's
talked,
so if I were you, before you consider this opportunity, what I would do is, I mean, Aiden might know a thing or two about this, but I would be consulting with people and figuring out cost per acquisition, stuff like that, before delving into it. That's the number one thing. I don't think anything else matters. I think cost per acquisition, if you can figure that out, then now it's like, okay, well, we can test out a bunch of different offers. Like, I know shit's super expensive. Like, what if there's some kind of creative financing thing you can do? What if you can do something in terms of ad level? Like, hey, you always wanted your dream house and da 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 da. Well, now you can get it for, and then you really bait people in and you're able to do something with financing and like that. There might be a lot. And then now you get even like the financing department involved and you make some profit off of it. Like, it could be a huge thing. Like, I'm huge into, like, I'm all for this real estate construction. Like, I'm all for it. I think that if you just think it, you have to think it through from all angles of like how do you scrape up as much money as possible, getting as many people involved, but more importantly, what is the cost per acquisition going to look like? That's number one. Start with cost per acquisition to see if it even makes sense.
yeah.
And if
Well,
it
here's
makes
the
sense
other,
where you can spend 10, if you can spend 10 grand to make a sale, and then now, again, we get, financing companies involved and lenders involved and, underwriting companies involved, and we make a little bit of a cut from everything. Okay, well now maybe we're cooking.
well, the other thing he talked about is, and again, it's hard to explain everything over the course of the meetings I've had with
And
you, but
and also, sorry, I keep cutting you. I don't mean to cut you off. And also, what I'm thinking is, safe. If you consider this route, obviously, like step one is like testing if you do, but like also, I'm thinking longevity of like, okay, well, if you lose this guy, do you have other people? Do you have other home building companies? Do you have a way to start creating some kind of community where you can start conversating with other people in case something, hits the fan with this guy? That's another thing I'm keeping on my backup if I'm you.
yeah. Well, he talks about because he has the framing company too. So sometimes what he does more than building these custom homes, he only does those one or two a year. The framing company, he gets hired out for a lot because he's been around since 1985. He's well known. He does great work. That's where most of his money comes from. And he's like, well, he wants to do the same thing for that. And I said, that one might be a little harder because I don't know who we would advertise. I don't know who you run ads to. I don't know if Facebook knows who builders are and subcontractors and things like that, but we could figure it out. But he said, ultimately, my goal is that both companies would be doing so well that I buy lumber yards that are actually supplying the lumber to these projects, and you'd get a cut of that too. And then
Hmm.
he mentioned like working out deals with finance companies and banks, and where we would get a little bit of cut a referral fee from them. And then he said, he's like, look, once my valuation of my companies, he has five, but the two are the big ones he's working on. He said, once the valuation of those two companies get to 3 million, I'm going to offer you equity share in the company. So once I hit 5 or 6 million and somebody offers to buy the company, you would get a cut of that price. And so it's just like I'm sitting there and he was talking about here's what I figured the numbers are going to be, and he's showing me and everything. And the numbers he was throwing around, he might as well have been saying a bazillion, gillion, trillion, Google $1 billion. I mean, I was like, that just sounds, he's like, you could make like 10 million off of this in the course of a few years. And I'm like, that sounds so ridiculous coming out of your mouth when I'm on the phone pleading with people to give me $1,000. So yeah, anyway, I just thought I'd throw that at you. It's in the very, very early stages. He has hired me to like build the websites and get his social media channels done because he has none of those. The ad stuff will come later on down the road. But the thing I like about all of this is he's still like, look, as long as you're doing the work, you get paid. It's just you get the bonuses when the sales come in.
What
So
about when it comes to the med spa, just shifting gears really quick? I know, again, you had a surplus of clients coming in from referrals. What are we doing approximately revenue wise right now in terms of the med spa stuff?
I have right now 9 companies I'm working with, and I have 2 others that I'm going to be meeting with on referrals still. I can't get anybody to let me have access to their group yet. The guy in Minnesota, I've just not worked with him long enough. I started in September, and he kind of was like, I see what you're trying to do. Let's just see how this all goes first. That was his excuse. The lady in Greenwood, when I bring it up to her, she just shuts down. And there are reasons I can tell you for that offline because I don't want it live streamed. But um, anyway,
So are
so
you so you're doing good then. You're doing okay, you're happy.
yeah, yeah.
Consistent.
I mean, I'm having a good time. I really, and like I said, the only thing I have a little like feeling in my gut about is, man, if I could sharpen up the leads, man, I would have this. This would be, I'm like on, these people like me. They work well with me. They're very pleased. When it comes to re-signing, I've had to re-sign two or three of them lately. It wasn't even a thing. It was just like, yeah, send me the link.
Yeah.
So
The reason I bring that up is, I like, I mean, you seem happy, you seem content. There are bouts where like you come, every like 3 months or so and you're like stressed out. And every single time you're stressed out, why is it? Do you know? You know.
I mean, getting a little personal, it's just our financial situation at home.
No, I'm
Well,
not talking.
I know that's for me, that's always like sitting on my shoulder.
What I mean is in terms of the business side, right? Obviously, we all have our finance. I'm not talking about that. What I mean is like in terms of what's broken in the business that always brings you back here where you're like, I'm stressed out. What brings you back?
Well, for me, a lot of times it's the service delivery, making sure they get the same. I don't know, man. I just know
That's
for me the things that I sit and worry about for them. You tell me, you know me better.
I don't know that I know you better, but I know when Jeremy comes to me and he sounds stressed. That's what I know. And every single time Jeremy comes to me, like right now, Jeremy sounds super chill,
Yeah.
super happy, not a care in the world. But then Jeremy comes to me super stressed. And every single time for the last 2 years has been when client acquisition has not been working.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's not even on my mind right now. I haven't
Exactly.
run an ad since like August.
And
So
that's my point is that the reason I'm asking you about these clients is like you're playing. So here's the thing, you're playing defense still, right? And again, I know you're happy, I know you're chill, just like again with the Russian couple. And then I told you, hey, they're gonna drop off sooner or later. And so I know right now you're in a place of like, hey, if I can bring the cost per lead down and increase the quality, I want to keep them forever, but it just doesn't happen. You
yeah.
lose them sooner or later. And so it's just like, okay, here's where my mind is going to. It's like, okay, like seriously, if I was in your shoes and if I wanted to do what you're trying to do, it was like, okay, I'm in a place, I got 9 clients, I'm chilling. If I'm going to take action on this, now is the time to do it where I'm not stressed out. And the number one thing I need to figure out is how do I consistently have clients come in? If I'm not going to do paid ads, if well, like, do I need to do I need to do something right now while it's still easy, while I'm able to breathe and have my head above water. And then the moment I have something that like just how you feel about service, like how feel, if I can get that same feeling for client acquisition, then it's like, okay, great. Now let me go explore this home builder thing with my friend for fun and
Right.
just see what happens. And if something happens, great. If not, no worries. But I always have this to fall back on. That's where my mind is for you is like, let me just make sure we have this thing that's okay with this med spa and consistent. Like if a client drops off, okay, no problem. We're going to bring another one on. Jeremy's good. He's chilling. And then you can have fun with the home builder stuff. That's where my mind is for you.
Okay. I got you. Yeah, you're right. I mean, just along with this, that's always been a nut that's tough for me to crack. It doesn't see, you know how you can have something wrong with yourself and then your friend comes to you and tells you they've got something wrong and you can give them all the advice in the world and they're like, that's the best thing I've ever heard. But when you have to turn that to yourself, you can't make it happen. I mean, yeah, I seem to be able to run ads for med spas and just 120 leads, boom, no problem. When I run them for myself, it's crickets. And I can't, I think sometimes it's because I'm like the plumber with the leaky faucets. It's hard for me to do enough and to work hard for myself because I'm working on their stuff all the time.
It's
And
either that, it's either you got to, spend the money and crack and just keep trying and understand. I think what I'm kind of coming to conclusion with Aiden and Jorge and all these guys as well is like the guys are so here's the thing that I'm realizing. So you were kind of the first one that did it by like accident, where you were running those image ads, the submersive ones that were working. Here's kind of what I'm seeing. So here's what I'm seeing is like I'm seeing people that run video ads that crack it and get a good video ad. It's like they have like 2, 3 months of longevity, which is what you had.
right,
You have a good video ad, it'll give you 2, 3, 4 months. And then it stops working. Then from there, if for the people that are running these photo ads, it's like you have like 1 to 3 weeks. So it makes sense now. When I looked at your numbers and you're like, Kushik, things are working really well. I was like, that's super cool. And I was like, maybe you cracked it. And I realized now that I'm looking at Aiden and I'm looking at Righteous and I'm looking at everybody on these different Jorge, it's like they will use a photo ad and it'll work really great, but like they have like 1 to 3 weeks with it. And then they have
Yeah.
to keep, so you have to either you have to crack another video ad for longevity, you have to keep doing these photo ads and trying different ones, or third, again, this is why I kept telling you about, the referral play, because I feel like that's actually the easiest for you.
Oh yeah.
Uh, but it's like just you gotta do one of those three, and then once you do that, then I'll stop bothering you because I'll be like, he's safe. I'm not worried. It's like Jeremy, I gotta worry about you like a 16-year-old teenager, man. I'm worried about you.
You don't need to worry, man. I'm good.
And so then I'm not gonna worry. And then it's like, okay, he wants to go, hang out with the other kids that do the home builders. Okay, I'm not worried about him.
Right. I
But
got you. It all makes sense. Um, yeah, and everything you're saying is true. I don't know how much you've watched or read or studied on this new meta algorithm release called Andromeda. That's it's talking all the time about like if you really want to be successful, you almost have to have like 50 to 100 different creatives every month, and every one of them have to be different. They can't be,
I've
in other
heard
words, you can't say the same message over and over and over. You have to change up your message, change up your hook, everything.
I just heard that from Russell Brunson about 6 months, 7 months ago. He was talking, he had on a YouTube channel, he was talking about how like you could have a great ad, run that for a while. And he's saying like now they have to have a new ad literally every day.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
You
I don't
can
know
get
if I feel
I found a few videos where people are like, look, if you're a smaller agency, you could probably get away with running around somewhere between 5 to 15 different creatives every month.
yeah.
But they have to, if you want to be rewarded, they got to be a mixture. You got to do video, you got to do static, they got to have different, aspect ratios. And you can't just copy and paste your primary text and headlines. They all have to have some sort of variation. It's not getting easier, which is frustrating. They don't, I wish they would set it up so that it helps us, not them, but that's their business. They don't care about you. They'll, like you said, they run a terrible business and still make $1 billion. So they make it work for them. And I think it was you that told me this, or somebody else, or I read it somewhere. Like if you want your ads to be successful, you have to be a partner with Facebook, not the other way around. You have to figure out what they want, not what you want, not what your client wants. You have to find out what they want and assimilate to that. Then they'll reward you. And so that's what I do is I spend a lot of time when I get a new client looking at what all the others are doing, and then I try to
Right.
vary it up, but
We'll,
do it.
fi- we'll figure out how to do that for you. Solve client acquisition for yourself, Jeremy. Let's do
Okay.
that. Let's just, I think if you do that and you want to explore the home builder stuff, I think that's a fantastic move.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. That's my for myself, that's my kryptonite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
wouldn't.
always, it's what's weird is it shows itself everywhere. I mean, before you, I didn't know how to advertise for myself, but I could do it for other people. It's always been the thing where I can figure it out for them, but I can't figure it out for myself. And it's a combination of things, just not spending the time on it for me. And then also maybe being just too close to know, like when you're in high school and you'd write your own paper and it'd be full of typos and grammar errors, but you wouldn't see it. You'd think it was perfect. And you turn it in, it comes back, looks like they killed a small animal on it with all the red. You're like, what happened? I read this 35 times. You just get blind to your own mistakes. And I do think there's a lot of that. The time and I'm blind to my own area.
Maybe. Maybe. I personally think it's from what I'm seeing, it's what I'm learning with, Aiden and Righteous and everybody is it's just if you're going to do the photo ads, it's just you got to do them often. Like we
Right.
spoke about, every day, throw some stuff out there. And
Okay.
that's just the process of ads. That's just is what it is. Unless again, like I said, I sound like a broken record figuring out like the referral play. It's
Well, I'm not giving up on that. I know I remember well in your mind. For the guy in Minnesota, I recorded a video and showed him like this is how it would work. This is what we would do. Here's how you would, you know, and his response was, I think that's a great idea. Let me get to know you a little bit. Because when I proposed that to him, I'd literally known him for a couple of weeks. So, and the other day he sent me a message saying, I haven't forgot about this. So it's not dead there. And
Good.
then the lady in South Carolina, she told me something about herself that was like, ah, okay, got it. And I just stopped. I just stopped talking to her. Now she's still referring people to me, so that's nice. I'm just going to let her do it her way. She's she's on a scale. Let's just put it that way. So a
Okay.
spectrum.
All
So
right. We'll leave it there. Okay. All right. Do you have anything else? Do you want to ask Aiden your question, by the way?
is Aiden on here? Oh, there he is. Hey, Aiden. So I was telling Koshik, not for myself, but for my clients, my biggest weakness is like, and I don't know who you advertise to. I advertised for med spas. And when I put their ads online, I'm generating lots of leads for them. It's just the majority of them are junk. And he said you had kind of gotten some stuff that maybe eliminated. I mean, I've added questions to the form. I've even tried the SMS authorization thing. That was horrible. But is it, are you adding questions or what are you doing that if unless they just misunderstood what you're doing, what are you doing that improves the quality of your leads for your clients?
Yeah. So my first question is, are you using Facebook lead forms?
Yeah, instant forms, yes.
Dude, I know that other agencies use them. The reason that other marketers and other agencies recommend instant forms is because they get such high volume at such a good cost per lead, but the leads will always be dog shit. They're the devil to me. Every time I try them, I get burned. The reason yeah, actually, it's kind of crazy. It's very gratifying. Like, this isn't just me saying it anymore. It's like all of my clients will come back to me and say, like, there's something up with your leads. Like, more of them are real, more of them are responding to my texts and my calls. He's like, they're multiple times, they're just like, yo, these are real people. Like, they're answering the phones and they're responding. And the main thing, honestly, is because it's landing pages. Early on in my career, I had a mentor that's what he drilled in me. When everybody else was teaching me to do, Facebook lead forms, he was drilling in me landing pages. And so, anyways, that's like literally been most of my career is figuring out how to use Go High Level to make a decent landing page and how to increase conversion rate and CRO. And it's a bitch because it's like adding a whole other section of stuff onto your plate that now you have to figure out. You're like, well, damn, now there's the mobile headline and then there's the desktop headline and that looks different, but that one looks different in that other way. Anyways, but yeah, dude, like as much as it sucks, that's the reality is the landing page, the funnels and Go High Level will always be always be higher quality.
Would you mind just sending me a link to one of your landing pages that I can look at on mobile and desktop and just see how you've got it constructed?
Yeah,
Uh,
100%.
yeah, just send me one on Slack just so I can look at how you've got your form set up and what you're doing. Because
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
I I've tried to really fancy up my landing pages and make them look good and all that, but anytime I've tried to run just landing page leads, it's just not gone very well. So I got to figure there's probably something I'm doing wrong there that's short circuiting what the customer would want to do. So
I
that's,
assume it's the conversion rate then, like the ads are doing fine with click-through rates and stuff like that.
yeah. And then once they get there, they just don't leave their information. So if you have an example of what you have done, I'd love to see that. You can just throw it in Slack or whatever, and I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll say this too, like it's actually kind of embarrassing how simple some of my landing pages are, but it's not like I honestly don't know how well my landing pages that we've got would translate into something like med spas or, you know, yeah, like med spa owners trying to get their own additional clients. This is like it's the whole cost quiz thing. It's like headline, like a sub headline, and then the survey, and that's literally it. There's nothing else on the page. But I'll send you an example. I'll see if I can find like kind of the top converting ones. We can look through our Go High Level accounts, but yeah, I don't know necessarily how that would translate to
Well,
getting
there's
to.
probably something I can glean off of there that I'm just going to try it I got to do something because that's like I said, for the people I'm working with, not for myself, but for the people I'm working for, I'm getting them leads. And when they get a hold of people, I think I've trained them well enough that they're closing the sales. It's just the weakness is that part in between, like the leads are just trash. So I think if I could find a way to just shore that up a little bit, I think I'd be in a pretty good spot with most of my clients. So,
I know there are some med spas, Jeremy, that like a few people that I know that are stellar that they don't do instant form. They do go to landing page. I know that it does exist. I just think it's a lot harder. Like Aiden says, it takes time to really get there.
right.
It's quite a bit of testing. So the ones I've seen that can crack it, those people seem to have that longevity that maybe you're looking for.
Well, and I don't know if you all have noticed this, but like when you create a leads campaign now, Meta is giving you the option instead of just doing website or instant forms, you can do website and instant forms. So I've
Yeah.
been doing that a little bit, um, just to see if anything would change, but for the most part, it hasn't. So,
Yeah.
but that's kind of my thought was, am I just at the end of the road with these lead forms? Because I've tried everything I can think of and they don't seem to work. So,
Yeah.
the volume is great. I mean, they think when we first get started, everybody's really impressed. But then about 2 weeks in, they're like, man, I've made 100 phone calls and nobody's answering the phone, or they don't remember filling out the form, or they've never heard of us. And there was a time where Meta was allowing you to turn the auto fill off. Cause like when somebody clicks on a form, it's auto filled with whoever's been using that computer. And they were letting me on some of the accounts turn that off. And now I can't find how to do that anymore. It's not there. So, um, anyway, I've talked
Yeah.
enough. I appreciate everything as always, guys. Appreciate the
Yeah.
tough love, Koshik.
You're welcome.
Jeremy, really quick, like I'll send you a couple of landing pages that we have that are doing well, but like send me, I'm always here if you want me to look at your landing pages as well.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I've gone to like I put the ad on the landing page so just when they click on it, they're like, oh, this is the same place. Try to brand it really well. I put a form there, put the calendar. I've put like testimonials, before and after pictures. With places that are like smaller where there's only one esthetician, I'll put a picture of the esthetician and say, this is who you'll be working with, and have a little bio. Um, just trying to do. I've just tested a lot of different things, and the instant form gets the numbers, and I know that gives me a little cushion. And then I just keep thinking, okay, please, just if you get 100 leads, get a hold of 10 of them and sell 5 of them, and then upgrade those. But even that, the numbers just aren't. That doesn't work well. So
Yeah.
I'd rather them have 50 leads where they get to talk to 40 people, and out of those 40, 20 turn into sales. That'd be much better. So okay, fellas, you all have a good week, and I'll see you soon. I'll let you know what's going on with everything, Koshik and Slack. I think he's frozen. Look at that. He's in a contemplative posture. Does everybody else see that?
Yeah. My thing
I was going to say, blink if you're in trouble, Coach. He's frozen again.
is, yes,
You're like frozen. Gotta wait a minute.
there.
Somebody get the paddles. Clear.
I think both of our internets are running slow, Jeremy. Yeah. Testing, testing. Hello, hello, hello.
We hear your voice. You just look like a statue, man. You look like the thinker. I'm going to get off of here in case it's mine that's doing that. So you all have a good week, and I will see you in a couple. Thanks, Aiden. I'll look forward to seeing what you got. Take care.
Yo, yo, yo. Can you guys hear me?
I can now.
Hello, hello. Yo, can you guys hear me? All right, I can see it's kind of like frozen moving. Sorry, my internet's so shit. Yo, yo, yo. Hello, hello.
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, I'm frozen.
Now you're coming back.
What is going on today?
You guys there?
Yeah. It says your band network bandwidth is low.
Yeah, my internet's shit, dude. I don't know. But can you guys hear me? Are everything back to normal now? Better?
I can hear you.
Yeah, it's better.
Righteous, Aiden? Okay. All right, let's stop. Let's dive back in. Sorry, guys. All right. So righteous, and I think you messaged me some about your result.
Oh, you might be lagging again. Washik.
Yeah, I don't even think.
Hello, hello, hello.
Uh, what's going on, righteous?
Maybe it's
It was kind of lagging a bit. I heard a little bit. I did message you. Can you hear me?
try it on the phone, maybe?
We all got to chip in and get Koshik a better router or
Yeah,
something.
I gotta start a
All
GoFundMe
right.
for this guy.
Uh, Um, well,
Hello.
all right. Can you guys hear? Hello. Am I better now?
I
Think.
heard you, but you're still.
All right, let's just talk, and then maybe the visuals will not be that good, but we can just talk. Righteous, what's going on, man?
Actually, everything is good. Um, the lead that I got, he actually just confirmed that he would be on for 7:30 today. So I got a discovery call here in a little bit. Um,
Okay.
but other than that, I mean, the cost is just higher than expected. So
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think the what I'm seeing is like, you know how like me and Jeremy were just talking about how like how many different ads you have to go through on a monthly basis. What I'm seeing is I think that's my theory so far because I'm seeing that with you, I'm seeing that with Aiden, I'm seeing that with just across the board, even Cam and their photo ads. It's like we just need to pump out more ads, it seems like, as opposed to like having a video ad that just like performs for months on end. That's kind of what my theory is right now. And I think
okay,
that might be a normal thing. And yeah, so that's kind of where my head's at right now.
cool.
Um, yeah. So, I mean, let's see here. Can I see you guys can see my screen?
Not yet. Okay, I can now.
Okay. Um, right, so I'm trying to pull up your Excel real quick. Am I looking at the right one or so this is a weekly? Okay.
That's the right Excel. Oh, yep, that's the weekly, monthly.
Okay. So your cost per call is $30. We had four, and then we had 19 at this price point. We had 14 at this point, and then we had one at this price point. And is this the one that you just booked out?
Yeah,
Okay. And then let's go to the weekly. So it's like weekly cost per book call is 46. That's the one that you just booked out, I'm guessing. Okay.
yep.
So yeah, I mean the costs. Wait, so this is October 5th to 12th. So this doesn't, okay, so we're not including October 1st to the 5th? Because this says
Um,
because this says $145, right? And then this, it looks like we've only spent 46 bucks.
you see, so that one to the left is from October 27th from September 27th through October 4th.
This is September 27th to October 4th.
No, no, that's the monthly, but I was talking about the week on the weekly.
Yeah.
That has like October 1st.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I see. Okay. So 191 bucks. Okay. So remind me what we're doing that got us this book call. Like, what is the tweak that we made? Or like, I think we made a tweak and then you tried something else. What's the tweak that made this work?
So I had an asset that I had spent like $90 and I got like 7 leads. I just duplicated that one and then I changed the targeting.
Right. I remember now. Yeah.
Messed up.
And
And
then we still have the advantage placements and stuff, right?
yep. And I
And,
just let that been running ever since.
and it's the gray background.
Hold on, let me make sure.
Yeah, it
I'm
should be a gray background.
let me make sure. Black. It's a black background.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's the black background ad. Okay, got it. And is it okay, cool. All right, well, I guess remind me what we did the round before that. I know we changed the targeting. And then we had like one ad that it was like the black one for feeds and then the gray one for stories or something.
Yep. So the round before that, we did exactly that. Black background for feeds, and then the gray one for stories. And I had three duplicates of that ad for the pocket theory. Um, but I did that. The problem with that one was I didn't spend that much. I had only spent like $48, got like 9 link clicks. And you were telling me like the unique click-through rate was good and everything. Really should have just spent more, but I was like getting nervous,
Yeah.
kind of
Okay.
because the CPM was high.
Yeah. I mean, if the CPM was high, that's, that is cause for concern. So okay, well, I guess let's just let it rip. I mean, nothing is, my fingers are crossed that like this just kind of performs for a little bit of time. But I think again, my theory is that I really do think that we need to, if we're not gonna like focus on like cracking video ads, I really do think we need to make it a habit of just like understand we have to swap out ads like once every 2 weeks or so. You know what I mean? I think that's gonna be like a normal. So I would not be surprised if this just works out for like another week or so, and then we have to like do something different, another ad. did you do Pocket Theory for this one, or is it just like one or two ads in it?
For that one, no, I didn't do Pocket Theory. It's just one ad in it.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Uh,
Just one ad with the advantage placement. So
okay. It's interesting that that's working really well for you. So okay, cool. I guess so.
yeah.
I honestly I don't have thoughts other than like let's just let it run for a little bit. Um and just kind of see what happens. What else did you want to go over, bro?
That was pretty much all I had at this point. So
Okay.
things
Cool.
are turning out good though, because like I said, he did respond to my text and confirmed that, he'll be on at 7:30. So
Okay, cool.
I'll be letting you know pretty soon if this sales call booked and how everything went. So
Good. Yeah, man. I mean, obviously do what you need to do, get off prep or whatever it is that you need to do. But anything else that you wanted to go over then?
nope, that was it. So we pretty much covered a lot of the sales stuff in the
Right.
previous calls. I just haven't really got a chance to actually have a live call yet. So I'm a little excited.
Yeah. Okay. Been thinking about remodeling after Aman on the targeting that he closed a few deals from when I tried to set it up the first time. What are you talking about here?
So when we first started, Amon had like sent me a loom of like the setting for like the Facebook ads. And when it comes to the targeting, like he set everything up properly, but that was the targeting where I had everything in one category and I didn't do the flex targeting properly. So I was like, maybe just go back and run that play. But ever since that lead came in, I've just been kind of calm now because I'm like, oh well, shoot, the lead just came in, but it was a little slow for a second. But
Okay. Yeah, let's I mean, we can definitely look at it. I don't know because like I'm kind of leaning more towards just like making things simpler. That's what I've kind of seen work better for the guys is like just like not having as many interests. But if that's something you want to test out, we can certainly test out. But for now, I think honestly, man, like it's working. Let's like let it rip probably for another week or so. My guess is that this time next week, you're gonna have a few more calls booked. We're gonna be in a sitting place back where we're gonna focus on like discovery and sales. So that's kind of what my guess is for you. Is like I think this past week we're gonna be good. This next week we're gonna be good, and then next week we're gonna probably focus more on discovery sales calls. That's kind of my guess. And then another week after that, probably gonna be in the same place where we need to focus on ads again. That's kind of what my guess is.
got you. All right, that'll work.
Okay, cool, cool. All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and transition, then move on to I think Aiden's next. If you have questions, let us know. If you have to hop off, get
Yeah,
ready
I'll
for.
hop off for a second and like prep, and then I'll jump back on.
Cool. Sounds good. Good
Yep.
luck.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep. I think this is literally what maybe um Jerry was just talking about. Talk about the update. I didn't realize there was a major update that went live in July. Some other, and then we'll just have a discussion about why. And then just we have more calls. With some mixers are trying new ads this week with some solid process we are in the process of collecting cash from. I need to post a couple calls on my spreadsheet. Okay. Um, well, let's I do want to look into this, but I want to look at your ads. Is your KPI sheet up to date?
Uh, yes. Or it's mostly updated. I'm going through and right now.
Okay. Uh, so we booked, okay, awesome. So you booked 11 calls recently. Heck yeah. What's your cost per book call? $40. So what are you doing for these book calls? Is it the star background?
Uh, let's see. Let me triple check. Huh.
So you got 11 live
The
calls, three of them still to do, booked on booked sales calls. Okay.
Most of them are the star background. This is okay, let me actually this is so I got this creative from the swipe file that I've given to you guys, the PDF. Let me upload it to, I guess, the general, or I'll respond in a thread here. Upload this bad boy. It's kind of weird. This is one that just I'm finding that new ads take off every week, and part of me, part of it, I feel like it's the Andromeda shit.
Yeah,
Um,
what we were just talking about, right? Like needing to pump out a crap ton of ads frequently.
Yeah, I just posted that in replying to my thread in the general chat, but that one for some reason is doing really well. Another thing that I tried,
When you say so, when you come up with these, the copy we are look. So I guess like so. First of all, that creative and the copy, are you getting that from like Joel Kaplan stuff, or is that like just how are you coming up with this?
okay, so I don't know if Mason remembers this, but Mason just like just threw it out there in one of our chats or something like that. And I think I had written one. I got one of them from what I had been seeing in some of the funnel call funnel ads that have been going on. And then Mason just threw one out there and I was like, fuck it, I'll put it in there. So I did, and having both of them in there has just been working for some reason.
Cool. And then in terms of the copy, like, are you
That
obviously in that case you're coming up with that from scratch, or is that like a previous winning copy?
yeah, the copy that well that is the copy, sorry. But yeah, it's just the same copy that's been working. I actually that's probably one of the things that I want to test next is different variations of copy. I've been getting targeted with a lot of ads from our competitors, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I need to be testing that. Where it's like, hey, kitchen and bathroom remodel contractors and things like that, right? It's kind of doing more of a call out thing, and this isn't doing a call out at all, minus like the creatives. But
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, things look good in terms of you. Okay, 3 to 5 remodels this week. So this one, which one's working better, this one or the other one? Or they're both
uh,
well.
they're both doing well. But uh, the one that's not the dude is doing better.
Okay, makes sense.
It it's it's wild. So what I'm doing now is I'm like, because I was trying to go for a little bit of like a 90s background theme. And so anyways, I've done a bunch of I've done a bunch of them now where it's like 80s and yeah, other kind of crazier 90s and 80s background themes. Because why
As
not? That's what worked well this time. So
long as it's
um
working. Cool. So, all right. So ads wise, then I'm not worried about it. Numbers look good. So, okay. So your cost per book call is good. We've had discovery calls live 7 this past week, 1 the week before. So looks like maybe last week it was because I'm guessing your costs were a little bit higher because maybe not getting a chance to test out creatives copy. Is that what it is?
um
Because your
that's
cost,
why I was kind of
yeah,
um
your
I was
cost
kind
per book
of
is like through the roof. So I'm guessing last week we didn't have a chance to really mess around with ads versus this week we're good. This week we're good. This week we're good. This week they were good.
yeah,
So
that was the week that I went too narrow. I was like trying to optimize too much.
okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, I remember that. Okay. So what is it that we want to focus on? Aside from obviously the ad stuff, I do want to talk about that stuff. But aside from that, what is it that you want to focus on?
Um, I mean, what I need to focus on is more of the sales call and discovery call stuff and like calling up old leads. I guess in this for this conversation, I don't know in terms of like the ads and the call stuff, I guess. I wanted to bring something up though. I thought it was really interesting. So, most of these are targeting contractors that are, they've been bringing in contractors that just do like full-fledged remodels. But there were two or three people that I spoke to this last week from this last week's batch of ads that they really, really like cabinets specifically. And those were some of the three best calls I feel like I've ever had. And where like they were excited, they were super invested. Especially, I was telling them about like, oh yeah, this cost quiz kind of like it came from the cabinet. Anyways, they got excited talking about like, oh yeah, these I have a bunch of other these cabinet clients and stuff. Anyways, I don't know. Those were the best ones
Okay.
by
So you're thinking about maybe changing up our marketing and go specifically after that offer of like, hey, 3 to 5 cabinet repairs.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Something like that. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, thinking about it.
Okay. Yeah. Why not? I mean, if you do you feel like it's a fluke? Do you feel like it's just by chance, or do you think there's a reason behind why those conversations went so well? Like, for example, what I'm saying is like, do you think it's a you thing? Do you think that it's like we just got 3 really good people, or do you think cabinets have something to do with like I don't know, like that's like more profitable or something? Like, what's going on there?
I think it's a little bit of everything about. So there's of the three people, one was a dude, and he's just a really good guy. It's just like really solid. He's one that I'm soft closing where he's like, I need to go to the bank. That was yesterday. I had a sales call with him, dude. It was 4 freaking hours. It was crazy.
It's
Um,
good. Oh yeah. Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah. It was well, and I wish I could say that it was all because we were talking about the funnel and the system and everything. He's just a talker. That's really it. But
Okay.
it was still a good sales call. And he called me actually this morning and was like, "Hey, I'm heading to the bank to try to figure out this stuff kind of thing," and was asking me to send him some more stuff and like to review for anyways.
Okay.
But the other two that I spoke to were so this is kind of I don't know. There's a couple things that I'm like maybe I should try a couple of these things where the other two people that I spoke to were women, actually. And they either like co-owned the business or they were like over that department of, you know, uh, cabinets and kind of that kind of thing. And they were a lot more, I don't know, man. Like I had a call that morning before I spoke to those guys. And Jorge, I'm sorry, dude. Like Thursday was insane and Friday was insane too. Like I was on the phone all day and this is part of it. But anyways, earlier that day, I was spoken with a really hard-headed contractor who was just really mean and just a jerk. And then these ladies come in and it's just a completely different vibe, different, approach to the phone call and everything really. Um, they're good at what they do, but either they weren't like threatened or what, I don't know, whatever it is. So it's got me thinking like, okay, maybe I mess around targeting for like cabinets.
So
Um,
so so walk me through. So all right. So from what I hear, you've had like 7 calls this week. 7 this live calls, right? So we booked 11, had 7 calls, and you're saying 3 of them were good. One was just a talker, and he specific like that guy, like he specifically was excited about cabinets. He wanted to do cabinets in particular. Like what jump what how does that pertain to cabinets?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he was just excited about everything in general, but especially cabinets because he actually has a really good deal worked out with a supplier where his margins on cabinets are extra high. They're like much higher than other people's, and so he would be like really happy to do like to just get cabinets.
Okay.
But he was
And
just
then
kind of excited about all that in general. The other
okay.
two were more so, I guess, the cabinet.
So the other two, the ones so there were some guy. So one of them, there was a guy who's a dick, and then brought on a female who has something to do with the company, and it was a much more pleasant conversation. And all they predominantly just do cabinets.
100%.
Okay, and then the third one, what is that? What happened there?
Same thing. It was a lady. She's an interior designer inside of this company, and they're opening a whole other department of their business to just focus on cabinets. And she, as the interior designer, she's basically just focusing on cabinets. And so, um,
So, I mean, I don't know that I'm hearing anything that's jumping. I mean, obviously test it. I just logically, I'm not saying no, I'm just not hearing like the first one made sense where it's like, hey, I just have way more profitability because like your book call, cost per book call is not going to change, I don't think. Right?
yeah,
Like, so here's the thing that I'm hearing. So logically, I'm working through it. So I'm thinking through client acquisition, I'm thinking through service. In terms of client acquisition, if I go to cabinets as opposed to kitchen repairs, is my cost per book call going to be cheaper? I don't know that it will.
yeah, good point.
Is right. So is my cost per, I don't know that it will. Is my, so cost per acquisition is 2 parts. It's the ad cost and then it's your closing. So are you affected by your clothes? So is the cost per book color me cheaper? I don't know that it will be. Is my cost per acquisition going to be cheaper because I'm closing these people and people are easier to talk to? Maybe you got a point there, but I think that it almost sounds like a fluke, right? You got a dude who's a talker, and then you got two chicks, and what are the chances of all these companies having a chick and like being nice? And I don't know. And then you got service delivery. And when it comes to service delivery, okay, what is going to be give you the high, make them the most amount of money for the least amount of ad spend for you to spend on them? And I don't, if you said cabinets was substantially better than kitchen, I'd be like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. So logically, as I'm thinking through these three lenses, there's nothing really jumping out at me. Does that make sense? So I'm not
Yeah.
saying no, I just logically, maybe I'm misunderstanding it. Um, for
No,
cost acquisition, I don't know how it would bring it down. And then in terms of service delivery, I don't know how it would be easier or make them way more money, other than if there's like marginally a big difference in terms of like doing cabinets versus kitchen repairs.
no, 100%. And yeah, that's why I bring it up because I'm too close to the situation, so I need to take a
Right.
few steps back and get some outside perspective. So
Yeah, those are, I mean, yeah, those are my thoughts. I don't know about the advantage of that. I don't, unless I'm misunderstanding, I don't see an advantage right now. I think it sounds like you maybe had some good calls with few people that were, just by fluke. So. Yeah. So I don't know. It's up to you. Obviously, if you want to test it, there's no way. I'm not going to stop you from testing. I think it's close enough to what you're doing, that if you
yeah,
want to test it and just give it a shot, you're welcome to. I just don't know I don't see any particular advantage to it.
I might test for women. I don't know. Might They're always more pleasant to talk to on the phones in construction, but they are still usually decision makers. I don't know. I don't know. I might try that honestly, but
Yeah, they are very good at making no sense. Right. So, yeah, man. I mean, if you want, I kind of give you my 2 cents. I'm not like, I don't think I'm not nearly as concerned about that as like some of the other things we talked about, like making time, prioritizing and stuff. I think if you want to test it, go for it, man. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's like no particular advantage to it. If you come back to me in a week or two and say, hey, look, I'm not making significantly more money or da da da, I wouldn't be surprised. But if it works for you, then great. Maybe you get some pleasant people and target women. I don't know. Just test it. Aside from that, man, what else did you want to talk about?
the main thing I want to talk about honestly is the Andromeda ads.
Yeah, what the heck is going on with that?
So I don't know, and I kind of want to open up the discussion to other people because I'm curious, but basically, like, oh, I watched a lot of these videos here. That Alex Hormozi's ad strategy died with Meta's Andromeda. That was a really interesting one because he talks about, Alex Hormozi has always promoted this, like, do 50 hooks with three main body, part of the ad, and basically, like, the way that Andromeda is supposed to be optimized is. Um, Basically gone are the days of the pocket theory is basically what it's supposed to be like. Even if it's not the exact same ad, if it's like, and I don't know. I was talking about it with Tenny earlier. I'm like banging my head against the wall here because on one hand, a lot of our ads are not doing that great, even when we take a winner and we duplicate it 3 times. But and then you have our ads, and we literally just change one tiny little thing, like the background of that like space ad, just change it to a different background, and then it is doing well again. So it's like
What's
that
the
thing.
what's let's take a step back though. Like before we delve into that, like what's the overall like general message of this update? Like what is it saying? Like, hey, look, you have to create a lot more creatives and copies every month. Because I what Jeremy was kind of saying is like, hey, look, you can't make slight tweaks to like the first few words of your copy and expect Facebook to think the algorithm thinks it's a brand new thing. Like one ad has to be like, hey, 3 to 5 new customers, 3 to 5 new cabinets. And the second ad has to be 20K guaranteed in 30 days. And the third has to be like 7 to 5 kitchen remodels and like complete throw Facebook ad off of its game. um that's kind of what I'm understood from Germany, as opposed to like being able to swap out like we did the creative with the background and some slight tweaks. So I don't know, like I don't want to put words in your mouth because I haven't looked into it, but like what is the gist of it?
No, that's pretty much it. Is basically creating, like, having a shit ton of ads that are meaningfully different. Um, and that's for videos, images, headlines, ad copy, basically like everything. In my opinion, yeah, like Jeremy said, actually, it's like making our jobs a lot more difficult. Um, but yeah, that's basically it. It's just the more different you can make the ads, the in theory, the better your ads are supposed to do. It's supposed to reward variety, and
So
the reason that is because I guess they're supposed to. I guess there's a lot of reasons, but like the main one is like it makes those different types of ads appeal to a more specific type of person. So like one of the videos I watched, he gave a specific example of like a really specific example of like, hey, I clicked on this ad. It was like some dude in the gym and it had like this type of headline in it. And he's like, it wasn't even just retargeting. He's like, then I was getting hit with all of these ads that were in the pretty much the same format from other advertisers, where it was like a similar type of headline, a similar type of image. And so that's an example that he gave.
interesting.
Yeah.
So based off of that, I guess like when you say you want to open up a discussion, because I'm pretty sure like this is the first time most of us are hearing about that. Jeremy knew about that. You know about that. I don't know about Mason or Jorge or Righteous. But I guess like when you say you want to open up a discussion, I guess like my mind obviously just comes to like, okay, how do we solve this problem? Like what kind of things can we do? But like where did your mind go to in terms of like wanting to have a conversation about this?
I don't know. I guess I just wanted, I wasn't sure if you guys had heard about it. I didn't see anybody talking about it in the Slack, but I wanted to see if, you or Mason or Jorge or anyone had really seen anything else on it or messed around with it.
I've just had with you guys, and I was saying this to Jeremy, is like I've just had kind of a just like again when we were doing it just annoys me that Facebook makes life harder and harder. Like every year it seems like it's just getting harder. Um, I wish I could go back to the days of 2019, create a banger video ad, slap that bitch on, and it just performed for like 6 months with cheap costs, but no. But so it's like I'm just kind of going through a progression like you are, Aiden, and just like noticing patterns and having like gut instincts of like, okay, this should have worked before, it did work, it's not working, and just kind of know. And so like again, I know I'm noticing certain things with you guys when we were doing a free to fee and just every week just being patient and looking inwards and trying to reflect and be like, okay, what's going on? Why do I think it's going on? And what do I think the right move is? And then eventually I pulled the plug and said, okay, we got to try something else. And so now, as I'm doing this with you guys, here's what's interesting. So to me, so Jeremy was running the initial video ad that we had that was a banger that worked for Aman, it worked for um, Aaron, and it worked for him. It worked for a few people. It was going to counter page offer. Everything worked, and then it stopped working. And in my opinion, I was just like, yeah, there's a shelf life that you have. It worked for Aaron for a while. It worked for Aman for a while, and it's going to work for you for a while. And then eventually, it's going to stop working. And I think that means you have to put another face behind it. You have to create another ad, whatever. And then Jeremy comes back like a few months later. He's like, yeah, I'm getting great results. I'm like, what are you doing? And I thought it was the same. It was a video. I thought he was doing submersive ads to a counter page. And what I found out is that when he was on the coaching call, I literally didn't know until then. It's a completely different ad to a completely different funnel, right? It's a counter page, but like the headline's different, the offer is different. I was like, oh well, it's a completely different thing. And then he does that and he gets results for like maybe 3 weeks and then it stops. And so that was my first taste, and that was like maybe 6, 7 months ago. Okay. And then he's doing that, and then I see you guys, and then and again, I'm expecting like $50 for a book call. I'm $70 for a book call. That's what I see over and over again. And then you come in here and you blow the doors open. You're getting like $30. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, okay, well, let's try out Aiden's shit. And then we try out your stuff, and now Aman's getting great results, and Righteous gets, and I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, okay, it's the creative, it's the copy, it's whatever aid, it's like this image ads, and then another week or so goes by, and now I'm noticing another pattern, which is everybody's shit dies. And the reason yours hasn't died is like you've constantly been testing. I was like, maybe, and part of me was like thinking like maybe Aiden's testing like he's just that's just who he is because of his background as a media buyer. And he's constantly finicking with things, and that's just his behavior. And he's just doing a little bit more than he needs to. To be honest, that was in my head. I was like, no, you just need to get something that's really good, and it should last through for 1, 2, 3 months, and it's not. And then now I'm coming to, and again, now Jeremy mentions that the other day. I'm sorry, today, you mentioned that today. And now it's finally clicking for me. And so it took me a few weeks to realize that I think the solution when it comes to the call funnel is what we're talking about here. So I think that's the solution. In short, the solution is we just need to get, and I was kind of telling this to Jeremy a few months ago. I was like, dude, every day you just need to commit an hour to like new ads and just launch.
Yeah.
So I think that's just the solution. I think the solution, guys, is just we just need to commit 1 hour a day or 1 day a week and batch have a shit ton of ads. So you create all the creatives, the copy, and then throughout the week, whenever things start to putter out, once every 2 days, maybe just have some new shit. And so 1 day a week, like on a Sunday or a Monday, is your cadence, is a bunch of ads. And I think that's the solution. That's kind of where my mind is. I don't know if, and so as you're talking and we're talking, I'm like already thinking back, my how do we systematize this? Or how do we optimize? Maybe what we do is we have a creative, we have a copy, and then you know how you have the AI text generator for more copy? It's like, okay, you find a winning copy that works. Okay, we use AI to create a few more variations, and those become the ones that we test. And that's kind of like the control. We have a control, which is like the winner, and then we try to beat it every time we post a new ad, but keep it similar. And then the creative is what we change drastically. And I don't know if there's some kind of AI tool or something we can feed it
Yeah.
to. Hey, look, I'm going to give this to you. I want you to shoot me, 20 different creatives over that have this offer, but that are completely different fields that are going to go out to different people, like you said. So that's kind of where my mind is in terms of like systematizing it.
So this switch has already happened, by the way. Like we already predicted that this was going to happen before it happened because if you remember, like the priority now is more toward the ad
Creative. Yeah.
creative versus the actual targeting. Because what I used to do is I used to kind of focus on really dialing in like the age, that type of stuff, kind of like for local ads, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then really the case with all this new information coming out is like, I mean, the reason they created it, if you think about it, is because with the kind of AI revolution going on, Meta's
Right.
having problems. So what's going on is the people are seeing too many ads, and the system that they built doesn't have enough speed, and the old system that they're using can't handle the scale. So basically, they created the system to handle bigger volumes of ads, so it can learn faster and keep up with the new AI generated stuff. So when it comes to ads, like it's going to become better at matching the right ad to the right person by not analyzing like the copy, but analyzing the actual video, if that makes sense. So like what I mean by that is like let's say an ad that like for example in your ad set, maybe you have the targeting is like shoes. It's like okay, I'm gonna just show my ad to people that like shoes. But now it's getting to the point where it's like okay, the ad is going to know if you like red flip-flops for the beach, if that
Mm,
makes sense.
yeah.
So basically, what Meta is trying to do is they're trying to handle more ways um, to handle more ad variations, and it's rewarding advertisers who give more variety as opposed to people that just make the small tweaks. So like the different angles, right? So what I mean by different angles, I mean like okay, you have problem solving, you have emotional, maybe you have a testimonial, maybe like a comical one, a different format, right? So more videos, images, and carousels, and then different messages for different people. So really now it's kind of at a point where the more diverse that your ads can get, the better that Meta is going to be at actually showing them to people who care. So when it comes to the ad set level, when it comes to like manual targeting, you don't really have to obsess about like the detailed audience, if that makes sense. So basically what's going on is you're going to want to keep your targeting more broad and then focus on creative quality and variety.
Mason, have you guys started getting to a place where you're constantly like doing a bunch of different ads and creatives? Because the last time we spoke, I don't know, a few weeks, maybe a month or so ago, the strategy that you had then was you guys post organic, try the trial method, and then find the one that does the well, and you guys just like boost that one. Is that what you guys are doing, or are you guys doing something different now?
No, we're doing the exact same thing. We have an ad right now that's running 120. We just upped it. I think like 120, 125 a day.
How long have you guys been running that ad?
Mm, no longer than 2 months.
So still though, I mean that kind of is counterintuitive to like what we're talking about though, right?
I mean,
'Cause-
not necessarily. I wouldn't say because the ad strategy is a lot different.
What do you mean?
like my ad strategy is a lot different. It's by getting followers. It's not necessarily doing like lead forms or anything that the guys are doing.
Okay, gotcha. So you're not doing, because I thought, so you guys aren't doing like the DM ads.
No, nope,
Oh shit. Okay.
nope. I haven't touched those in months.
Really?
Yep,
Fuck, I didn't know that. I thought you
yep,
guys were doing Instagram DM ads.
nope. I
So
haven't
you,
touched those in months.
so you guys were doing follower ads, you went to Instagram DM ads, and now you're back to follower ads.
Correct.
Oh shit. Why? Is it just
Um,
it,
I think a lot of it had to do with inconsistency between setters and also like leaning in a little bit more on differentiating our ads from other people. So what I mean by that is like we went to the DM ads because a lot of people were like looking to like follow a page, but the thing is because there was so much volume and people saying the same thing within ads, it kind of like the follower ads started to die out. So then what I decided to do is like, okay, I'm gonna run DM ads now because I'm gonna give them a free thing away that solves a specific problem, and then offer the help for the people that needed it, and then that worked. Obviously, it's still gonna work. Like I'm not saying that it won't, but like for example, like we're at a point now where we're trying to solve more of a show up
I understand what you guys do. And I'll
a
summarize.
show up thing, but I mean like our cost per book call is like, $50.
I know. So wait, and I'll summarize. I think I understand what happened with you guys and what you guys are doing in the strategy, that strategy. I get it now. Just really quick, I'm just from a place of curiosity. Like, what was the issue with the DM ads? The cost per lead was too high. The cost per book call was too high. The cost per show up. Like, what was the thing that made you pivot away from that and go back to followers? I know why you're doing the followers, like why it works now, but like, what made you pivot away from the DM ads?
Um, I mean, there's a couple different reasons. Trying to think of like the biggest one. There is a couple.
So if I had to summarize, basically you start with the follower ads with this proven formula. If you are avatar with problem, whatever, you want a solution, give me a follow and go through my content. Then,
So kind of. So we don't even do that
right,
necessarily
right,
anymore. We basically just create a super like valuable video that we know is going to be like good
right,
for our target. Like we're not. I'm like no bullshit. Like we're not even asking people to follow us.
exactly. So like I said, phase one was you guys did the generic shit.
Yep.
Then whatever happened, costs went through the roof, whatever. You're like, fuck this. We need to separate ourselves. So then you go to this Instagram DM ad
Yep.
like, hey, that should work. I'm going to give something valuable away. And then you had some bottleneck there. And then now you're going back to follow. But this time around, it's 2.0 where now
Yes.
you're not,
Because
you're having,
the first solution was great with volume. Like with the follower ads in the beginning, it was great with volume, but not great with quality.
right.
And then the DM ads solved the quality, but then it wasn't volume.
Okay.
And then sometimes it was hard to be predictable with the quality.
Okay.
And then we kind of rode that along for a while, but now we're at a point where like last month, depending on the show up rate, I mean we're closing over, 35%.
So now is it are you guys running into the quality issue like the first round? Or are you
So
like fucking eating it and say, fuck it?
that's the thing, bro, because generally like what I'll say for this month is like our show up rate is super low.
Yeah,
But the thing is like when people get on the call with us, they like I don't know if it's just like a because I don't know, we're good at sales or something, but generally the people that show up, like half of them buy.
I see. Okay. Makes
So it's
sense.
like like to be honest with you, like I don't really give a shit about cost per book call. I like care about cost per close now.
Okay. Cool. Interesting. So it's like round one, quality was shit. Quality increased, but it was inconsistent with the DM. And it's like, hey, I'm not gonna pay a premium for inconsistent quality.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Phase three is like, okay, fuck quality. I want to do volume. And instead of looking at the metric of cost per book call now, it's just like quality, cost per acquisition. It's like as long as that's within KPI, fuck it, I'm good.
Yes,
And just like fuck
absolutely.
it, we just push the volume.
Yeah, I think I was obsessing about the numbers too much, but the thing is like, I mean, I tracked the numbers for a long time, so I kind of know what they look like, but at the same time, it's like,
What's your
if
cost per acquisition right now?
like last month it was like $500.
And you guys sell your shit for how much?
Uh, 6 month is 3K.
Nice.
Year is over five.
Nice. Hell yeah. Cool. So numbers fucking number then.
Yeah, we did like 20, 26, 27,000 last month.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's the LTV for you guys? Average.
Generally it's the 6 month.
Okay. So it's about probably 27, 26 with like people that default on payment.
Um, honestly, I honestly think it's probably actually going to be around 3 because we do have a lot of people going for 5.
Hell yeah. Okay, cool. Sick.
So yeah, I mean, again, like we're gonna raise our prices soon, but I'm like building out like a whole actual coaching program part of it, like the videos and everything, not just like a show
Yeah.
up to the call type of deal.
Yeah.
And then after I'm done with that, I'll probably be upping the prices again.
Cool. Cool. Thank you for sharing. Guys, I know we went like super off tangent. Me and Mason just want to nerd out. I just want to, I was nerding out there with Mason real quick. But swinging back to like what we were talking about, Aiden, is because and it ties in because I was wondering what Aiden Mason's strategy was, and it seems like he's not doing the same thing, but like he's figured out what works in his particular niche. And again, those are messenger and follower ads, so it is probably different. So I guess like for us though, I think it's the same thing that we were talking about is like just high volume, man, a shit ton of volume. Um, unless we're gonna test, I mean, try to do the follower, so which I don't know if I don't think
I
that's
I I honestly think it's worth doing, man. I think I've been saying this for a while, but you guys can shit all over it you want, but I mean, have your clients try it, man. It works. Seriously.
yeah, I'm not shitting on it. It's probably just,
Like it will work for, I mean, I've seen it work for so many different niches, man. I just can't see it not working.
yeah,
It's just
probably,
just because it's so easy to do, bro. Like it's so easy to do.
yeah,
Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. Like no bullshit, Jeremy can do it. Like those med spas that are like struggling with the lead forms, bro, all he has to do is go in and then tell him to record a video like that, and then that's it. It'll work. I swear to God, it'll work.
you think so?
No, 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 I know so, bro.
Actually,
100%.
I,
I would bet anybody on it. It would work.
I believe you. When you break it down like that, the part that I wasn't, okay, so here's my missing link. So when you first did it, it was like, oh, are you Avatar with this? And then the other day you were talking about how, because I was wondering, I was like, why is he caring so much about organic content, viral content, and like these trends? And now it makes sense to me. It's like, okay, because what happens is that's what allows you to find the winning ads that stand out and
Yes.
allow you to differentiate
Yes.
yourself.
Because each industry, like, it's kind of weird how social media works, is kind of what I realized. Like each niche is similar in a way that the videos that go viral share the same format.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is like, the videos that I was sharing with you where it was like one person on the left side and then one person on
Yeah.
the right side.
Yeah. Yeah.
That can be taken and put into like any niche and it will work.
Right. I believe
And
you.
it will go viral.
Yeah.
And the thing is if you just follow the trends of that in particular, like you can create that in any niche that you want and it will work and you can even use that as an ad.
I believe it. Yeah, it's probably worth testing, man. Like if I don't know that I have the ability to like, create, I don't know. Like I get it. If the guys had, if the guys want to test that, have the budget to try and test that, I think it's definitely worth it for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
10,
I,
15 a day. It'll work.
I believe you.
I wouldn't say for like it will work better for business to consumer than it will for business to business. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Fuck, man.
Because that was always my issue. So like when I started to run ads to PTs with the PT niche, I did the same thing. I was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. If you're this person, follow my content. It's like, bro,
Right.
like my
Right.
cost per follow was like $30.
Yeah.
Now, bro, like I don't know the last time you look at our account, but like we're almost close to 40,000.
Yeah.
It's
Makes sense.
crazy.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we'll have to revisit this, bro. Got me thinking now.
Yeah. No, trust me, man. Seriously, it will work. It will work for medical spas. It will work for cabinets. Like it will. I promise you it will.
Yeah.
But the only thing is though, like the only complication part that I see is one, maybe the setter. But
See,
I don't think that will be too much of an issue. I think more of
I,
the issue will be becoming like getting the people to know what to do, like on camera and film it without you. But
right.
I think if you have like a good reference, I think if you have like a really good reference video, like show them how to do it, I think it would work really well.
My missing link for wanting to push and teach this to videographers was literally what you just kind of filled in the gap with, that like it's coming full circle to me now, which is like, okay, what content do you tell these videographers to use, to run the ads with? And now it's like, okay, Step one, go find viral trending shit online. Okay, two, make it your own in your particular niche.
Well,
Three,
I think I could create a good template. Like if you were like, yo, Mason, like if there's three boosted posts that I needed on my profile, what would they be? I would definitely be able to create a template for every niche.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Like pretty like what's it called? Pretty automatically. It's kind of like fill in the blank, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it will work.
Okay. Fair. Cool. All right, let's we'll talk. I want to transition back to Aiden though for a second.
Okay.
Um so Aiden, anyways, man, like that's kind of the plan of action in terms of what I would do, man. It's just like volume, I think. That's kind of where this conversation I know I keep repeating the same thing, but what are your other thoughts or like what else did you want to talk about, man?
No, that's pretty much it. You're totally right. It's just volume. It's just we've got these cabinet ads that have worked for over a year now, and now they're not. And I'm pulling my freaking hair out, man. And we've got a lot of monthly revenue riding on these continuing to work. So it's just
You should, I mean, what Mason said, I mean, you tinker around with ads a lot, man. Maybe it might be worth considering kind of what Aiden, Mason's talking about. If you're unfamiliar, they're not sure, it's worth maybe messaging him and our group, and you can kind of share a little bit more about that strategy if you want to explore that. But yeah, I think if you're gonna keep doing I think for ads that go and lead ads that go off social media for purchase ads where people go off social media and they buy a thing, it seems like volume of ads is the only way, and you have to do that. If not, then something like Mason's follower ad strategy makes sense, and that's kind of maybe the plan of action.
yeah, that's cool. I like it a lot. It's a sweet sounding strategy to me, honestly. So
Yeah. So cool, man. Anything else that you want to go over, Aiden, or Tenny?
I think I'm good, Tenny.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Yep. In terms of like discovery calls, sales calls, like where are you at this week, Aiden? Like, do you feel like we're making progress? Do you feel like you're kind of at the same place? How can I help regarding that? I feel like that's the bottleneck for you, dude. Like, your ads are, I don't see anything else. Like, it's literally just discovery sales calls.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting better. There was a couple of calls this last week that just were so off of the script and they ended so badly that I was like, I don't know. I
Weren't
was
you like you to the point where you thought, I mean, so why were they off script? It's because of, was it a you thing or was it the conversation, them thing? They threw you curveballs, you didn't know how to navigate that. Like, what was the issue?
yeah. So both of these guys, it's actually kind of interesting how it went. Okay, it was really interesting because one of them, I don't know. So the first guy is that dick that I was telling you about. That's just the guy that was a jerk, and I was like, this is freaking stupid. And he just is. And this is actually a decent amount of contractors, and I'm getting better at like dealing with it and coming prepared for it. It's just that how willing are they to die on this hill of I need to know the price. But that's it. Is they're like, okay, man, what's the price? And I've had, you know, a lot of thought into, I put a lot of thought in, and gone back and looked over what we talked about that. And like that guy was just, it's like I would keep trying to deflect and bring it back and then explain like finally, they just wouldn't drop it.
So
And
is this something you're running to the discovery call or the sales call?
discovery call.
Okay. So I can give you a tip if you want, if you're running it. Okay. So one thing you can do is you can tweak up, and I tried this with Cam. Uh, it might help you, it might hurt you. You have to just kind of test for yourself. For Cam, it helped to just keep it simple and not even do this. But if you keep running into this issue, I don't know if it's a you thing that you're just your energy and what you're saying is causing them to bring it up, or it's a niche thing. I don't know. If this is happening like two times, then I wouldn't say it's that serious. If you're saying that this has happened like five, six times out of 10, it's an issue.
Yeah.
So like which one is it? Is it like one or two times or is it like five, six, like half the time you're running into this?
Definitely not half the time. Probably like one out of four tops, I would say, like tops.
All right, so you know how at the very beginning we basically just break this, hey, how's it going? They say da da da. I say, hey, my name's Aiden. I'm just gonna ask you a few questions to make sure it's a good fit. They say, yeah, cool, man. So before we get started, da da da. So you can do that, and then what you can do is so just really quick before we get started, so you can do your whole thing of like just really quick. This is who I am. This is how many people we work with, and all we do is this. Also, before I ask you my first question, I know pricing and numbers is extremely important, and I will get to that. I will get to that as soon as I ask you these questions. Once have gone over these questions, I can actually provide with the numbers so that you're not spending a bunch of time. And again, if you want, actually, I'll just write something out for you.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's stupid as it's a logical fallacy in my opinion. Like I was doing some research and it's like even if I only charge you $100, like if what I did, which they would jump on, sure. It's like if what I did didn't work, $100 would still be too expensive, But it's like if my shit made you 100 grand, it's like 5 grand would you pull 5 grand out of your ass, Like anyway, so it's just really
and
yeah, it's frustrating to deal
you
with.
know, you know your stuff works, dude, because you've been doing it so long. It's they just don't know.
Yeah, and
Um,
I think what I'll have to do is just I might even have to like force the video even more. Like, look, I don't know. And here's the thing, the another guy was the same way, and I was able to push it into a sales call where after he watched the video, he was like, "This is amazing." Like he wanted to do it. Now, basically what I worked out with him was because again, I know this works, and I guess I'm curious to hear your thoughts about this as well. Because I know is actually okay. I know this is not like ideal, but it's been kind of a cool experience so far. I was like, basically, I just got to the point where I was like, look, dude, you're excited about this. You're like he was not in a spot where he was like willing to send me any money, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Okay, be a dick. Okay, let me run ads in your ad account and you front the money for the ad spend. And I guarantee in 2 weeks' time, you will have closed something. Okay. And he was super stoked about that after having watched the video and gone through everything. So I launched ads for him that day. And within 10 minutes of him okaying, like I launched the ads and I turned off the campaign, waited for him to be like, okay, yeah, go ahead. As soon as he said, yeah, go ahead, and I turned the ads on, within 10 minutes, he got a lead coming in who was bugging him, being like, hey, when can you come over? My husband gets home at this time. And now this is also part of what's interesting, Kay. That lady actually ended up being in San Diego area, California. It's actually another one of our clients that we were able to send her to. It's kind of nice because his ads are struggling right now. But that one experience made him so excited. And we were able to get him even more leads in the next couple days that he and I called again this morning and his card had like some issues and he's like, yeah, dude, if there's any issues with that, just let me freaking know. He's like, I'll take care of that shit. And he is like, out of 4 leads, he was able to get in touch with one that were like in his area, but and that was with like minimal reach out effort as well. I would add. But he was so excited. He was like, these are real freaking people. He's like, I have an appointment set for Thursday. He's like, this is crazy. He was so excited. And so I don't know, it was two completely different, paths of like
so what's brewing in your head is potentially like, so I guess like what you're trying to get across to me is, hey, I had this conversation, push came to shove. I just offered you a free trial, and there might be something to this.
possibly, but here's the other thing. The nice guy that I was telling you about, one of those three people, the lady or the two ladies and the nice guy, I told him, hey, it's $1,000. And he's like, okay, cool. Let me go to the bank and figure my stuff out. He's like, if I can't pay it on my card, I'll have my girlfriend pay it on hers. And that's the guy that called me this morning. He's like, hey, I'm going to figure this stuff out at the bank. Can you send me this other stuff? And so it's like I don't see me needing to do that for everybody. Just these like hard asses, man, that are just like, oh, price, price, price. It's like I don't know. I don't see me needing to do that with everybody. But
Okay. Um,
So as far as the discovery calls go, a lot of them did really well. Some of them went a little bit off script like that, that were, it's just like they wouldn't stop pushing for a price.
okay. So I mean, I'm looking at seven discovery calls booked, seven live discovery calls, and then three sales call meetings booked. So you have not had a sales call with any of these guys yet?
Uh, Sorry, I need to actually do the sales calls yet to uh, be had, or even discovery calls yet to be had, because there's like three that were this week that haven't happened yet. Um, so, oh, hang on. Sorry, that should be four actually. Four sales calls actually happened. Sir, I guess,
I'm just I want to just kind of look at numbers, conversion rates, and then kind of see from there.
uh, I guess, uh,
So this is the sum column, or am I? Oh shit, I'm at the wrong column. My bad, dude. I was fucking this all up. I was trying to summarize these. My bad.
oh no, 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 you're good.
So one thing Aiden tried to do, man, is try to like update this column because this is what I'm always looking at.
This one, yeah. I'm sorry. I need to make it so that it just updates like
I don't know that. I don't
because
know
it
how to.
doesn't it doesn't it, I can do it. It doesn't yeah, I can work on that.
Yeah. And let me have a look, and then we'll kind of see from there.
I might just need to go back the last couple of weeks and update these other KPIs as well.
It's okay.
But you're wanting to look at the overall ones, or are you wanting to look at this week's?
Well, like I want to just kind of look at the numbers overall and this past week, kind of see where you're at. See, are you making progress in terms of discovery sales calls? And then from there, because like, okay, here's what's brewing in my head. Option one, you know, and I don't want to change up too much. Here's a few things. One, if you keep getting hey, what's the price? Then it's a simple tweak of like, hey, look, I'm gonna go over pricing. I'm gonna go over numbers with you towards the tail end of this. So they're gonna just shut the fuck up and let you do your thing. And ideally, towards the tail end, they'll forget. Or you kind of do a bait and switch where you kind of, again, it's like, hey, this is who I am. This is what we do. Also, I know numbers is important, so I'm going to go over numbers with you towards the tail end of this. I'm going to ask you a series of questions first, which will allow me to determine what kind of numbers we're talking about. Then they just know, okay, price is coming, so I'm going to go ahead and answer these questions. Then you get to the very end. If you can sweeten them up and everything, then they're going to be free, forget about it, and happy to have a sales call with you. So that's one variation. So you might want to write that down. That's a way to do it. Another option, again, I don't want to go here. I don't necessarily want to try this, but it's like, hey, look, on your discovery call, you say, "Hey, look, by the way, we do a free to fee. In other words, we get your results first. We focus on driving results for you first before we ask for a single dime." But that complete changes up the sales funnel because now it's like when you get to the end of the sales call, you can do it for free, or you can say, "Hey, look, it's $1,000 to get started. That $1,000 goes to Mark Zuckerberg. We don't see a single dime." And if they pay $1,000, maybe you keep like 200 for cost per acquisition, and then $800 goes to ad spend. That's a completely different strategy. So there's a few different variations, but it's like before we do any kind of variation, it's like, well, let me just like look at your numbers and see like, hey, like, do we just need to get better at sales, or do we need to tweak up some of these strategies, or what? So that's kind of where my head's at.
Yeah, I think
So live discovery calls, we've had 37. Sales calls, live sales, we've had 12. Okay. So we've had 12.
it's definitely more than I feel like it's more than that.
Okay.
So I gotta go and
Okay, because if we've had five this past week and you come back to me and tell me next week, hey, Kushi, I closed one of these five, I'd be like, yeah, dude, we're getting better at sales. Like we're getting it. It's clicking for us. If, however, you come back to me, next week and we've had like 10 sales calls, eight sales calls, you haven't closed one, well then yeah, something we gotta get better. Something we gotta tweak something up, make the offer easier for you to fulfill on, like close on, free to fee, whatever it is that we gotta do. That we gotta do something.
Yeah.
But I really need the numbers first before I tell you anything. Because as of right now, if I'm just looking at this like 12 sales calls we've had and one you've closed, like something is, there's something going on here. But
It
again, if you're telling me,
definitely is the sales call like too, you know.
if you come back and you tell me like, hey, that guy, because you told me a few things of like, hey, this guy wants to move forward, but he's got his credit card thing. If you come back to me next week and you say, hey, dude, like two of those people were closed, okay, we've averaged out, everything's okay. So I would just say like update KPIs. Um, yeah. So I would say update your KPIs. Let's have a look, and then tomorrow I'll give you a suggestion of maybe what we should do. Maybe we change up the discovery call a little bit. Maybe we mess around with the offer of, the free, collecting a certain percentage to get started, so it makes it easier for you. Have you tried that thing that Cam's doing, where he's like says, "Hey, look, it's only $500," because right now you're saying still $1,000 or so. Have you tried Cam's thing of, "Hey, it's only $500 to get started, and then you pay off you don't have anything due until you get your first close"? Have you tried those things?
Yes, and that's actually, and I'm not doing $1,000 with all of them. I only did $1,000 for this guy because we were jiving so well. Like like I said, the sales call went for 4 hours. The discovery call was hour and a half, if not more. And I only did 1,000 because I knew that money was not an issue for him, and he was like, I know I could say 1,000 or even 2,000, and he
Not
wouldn't
gonna.
bat an eyelash.
So the other guys, what are you saying? What offer are you making them?
Usually it's 500.
Oh, really? Okay. So I guess like say it to me as if you were saying to them, like make me the offer so I can kind of hear it.
Well, and admittedly, like the last couple weeks, it's changed since those other, I guess, like I don't know what you call like 8, 9, 10 other sales meetings, or 6, 7, 8 sales meetings where it's like now I'm doing what, like word for word what Cam is doing. Where he's like, a lot of times too, they'll be like in the sales meeting, they'll be like kind of worried about price, and you're just like, hey, how does he say? He's basically like just in case, you're starting to get, stressed or panic about price, like know that we've got, a few different options for everybody's situation. And that's where he goes into, um, obviously there's like the 2,083 a month. If you pay for 3 months, it is 5,000, you get 20% off or whatever. But for the first like, you know, 2 weeks, it's $500 or, something like that. And then, for this promotion, we're not charging anything more than that until after you get a close,
So
something
you're
like.
so you're leading with that, and what kind of are you getting financial objections?
Um, a lot of them have been like kind of those BS like smoke screens. Like a few weeks ago, I was like, oh, this guy was perfect. He's it was a soft close. He wants to get started this next week, and it was some kind of bullshit, smoke screen. And it was the one where it's like I wasn't following this one that we went through where it's like I wasn't even following necessarily the script or the outline, and so you couldn't necessarily give that great of feedback on it. And it's like he wasn't that engaged the whole time. And so it's like that reflected on the closing side of things where it's like,
Let's do this. Let me ask you a better question. Let me reframe it. So since me and you have gone through some training and now you're freestyling less and you're going more, again, it's not gonna be perfect, it's gonna take you multiple reps, but let's say there was this Aiden here who was freestyling stuff. And then let's say there's a thing that changed and now Aiden's following the script. How many calls have you had since you've been like following the script? How many sales calls?
let me pull up the calendar. Uh, there's those five. Um, I Dang. Last week, I don't know that I Joshua.
So what I'm going to ask you is one, how many calls have you had? And then two, I'm going to ask you to break each of those down really quick of, okay, this was, hey, I'm going to get back to you. Hey, I don't have the money. This way I can kind of see out of those theoretically five, what happened for each one. That's kind of, and then from there, I can kind of maybe give you some feedback.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Yes. Okay. So I'll just stick with these last five. Last week there were a lot of sales calls that ended up falling through. Okay. So, but these five, I'll walk you through what those were. So, first one would have been he spells his name Bajram, Bajram, and he was kind of the hardliner who wanted to know price, and that's when I was like, "Hey, just front the ad spend, and I'll get you good results and make you happy, and then we'll go from there." Um,
And then what happened? He said no. He said yeah. He said what?
he said yes, and I was trying to assert like, look, we do like $500 down. That all goes to Mark Zuckerberg, and he was basically this impasse of like, okay, I'm not paying money. And I'm like, well, that's not for us, but I'm not gonna pay money out of my own pocket to, get you leads. And so that's when I was like, okay, what if we did this other thing?
Okay. And then so he said yeah. Are you guys starting? Are you guys not starting? And did he
Yeah,
ghost?
we started ads for him last. He's that guy that I was saying he's been
Started
super stoked.
and stoked about results. Okay, cool. And so started and stoked about results and basically working on getting paid now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next person.
And maybe I should have done it like that, where it's like, hey, if we, well, I don't know, I guess that's the whole point of the him fronting ads then, because I was gonna say like maybe you could charge like 300 or 500 for that first appointment if they're happy then, but the whole point is for him to front it. Um, the next one,
Yeah.
uh, next one, his name is David Green,
Okay.
and he was sort of a similar situation, except it's not that he didn't want to pay, it's that he couldn't. It's like, and this is just like I probably shouldn't have been talking to him anyways because he's, just starting out. He's really struggling to get by, but I was like, I've got basically I was really anyways, it was kind of the same thing where it's like, okay, you can't pay me like $500, but if you confront $300 of ad spend, I know that we can get you close. We were talking about doing like tile. Tile's a really good price point for margins as well as like just we can get a lot of lead volume at the
So
cost.
I'm gonna run through this. Sorry, I don't mean to like cut you off. I just want to go through this a little bit faster. I don't need to know like
Yeah,
the whole thing.
no, that's fine.
So just like what offer did you make him? What did he say to that? What's happened?
Yeah, yeah. $300 of ad spend that he fronts. Uh, yeah, and he said yes to that.
And have you guys started or no?
Not yet.
So what's stopping you guys from starting?
Just I need to get in touch with them and make that happen. He was said he'd be ready to go today. So
So he didn't want to do the $500 offer that you made, the cam offer. Did you make him the cam offer?
yes.
Okay, made cam offer to which he said no.
Yeah, he said he wasn't able to do that.
Yeah, so he couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And we don't know whether that's bullshit or not. Or are you saying that's bullshit? Because
I'm not smelling I'm not smelling bullshit.
so the only way to know for sure, so I define a financial objection as somebody that says they don't like I don't somebody that says I can't afford it is not a financial objection. A financial objection, true financial objection is somebody that does not have the money and they have a shitty credit score, so you can't get them money. Anything other than that is not a financial objection. That's an uncertainty doubt objection.
Okay. I mean, in that case, I guess it could have been a bullshit smoke screen.
So yeah, so again, partner spouses, I really do need to talk to my wife and husband. Only, so I'll just quickly go over this. I was sharing this with somebody else. The only way to know if somebody's a partner spouse objection that's a real one is if you ask it early on in the conversation. Okay, if you ask at the very beginning and they tell you like, oh, I need to talk. Yeah, I really do need to talk to my wife. So super crucial that everybody understands this. Then if they tell you, that's how you know it's legit. If they bring it up towards the very end of the call, that's bullshit. So the only way to know a partner spouse is at the very qualifying stage. If they say no at the very beginning and then they say yes at the end, bullshit. If they say yes at the very beginning, it's real. So that's how you know about that. Financial objection is only I don't have the money and I have a shit credit score. And there's no way for you to know that without you doing the open wallet test, which I'm guessing you don't know about, you're not familiar with, maybe you haven't gotten a cold war and stuff. That's how you handle a financial objection. And so are you familiar with that or no?
No.
Okay, so I think you need to go through that as well. Study financial objection. Okay, so you have not done that. Okay, super important that you do that, Aiden. So the financial objection, I actually, so literally I have it pulled up for all of my sales calls. And just for me to like remember before I actually even like hop on a sales call. So again, I'll let you kind of go through it, but if I scroll down, and again, it might be on your guys' template for you guys, but it's literally this. Hey, paste objection. Cool. I hear you. I can appreciate that for a second. Let's pretend money's out of the equation. How do you feel about the product? Do you feel like ultimately it's what you need for your desired outcome and you and you right now? They say yes or no. Okay, so to be clear, it's not a matter of should I do this thing where you're going to go back and forth if it's the right thing, but it's a matter of how do I actually make this happen? It's just a matter of price. They say yeah. So this is a double tie down. They say yeah. This is the only way for you to know, Aiden. And then they get into yeah, no, it's just a price thing. Got it. So most people pay in full, but for some people, it's not the best thing for them. So we allow them to break it up into payment plans. Since it's your goal to X revenue or whatever to do solve problem, do you want me to explore ways where you can potentially break it up into payments to make it work for you? Get them to talk. And then again, you should also like you should be doing the financial. The thing is, you shouldn't be hit with this, Aiden, if you did the financial qualifying stuff at the very beginning. Hey, can you afford to spend 30 to $50 per day? If they can
Yeah.
say yeah to that, and then you get to the very bottom and he says, I can't afford, there's some bullshit going on there. Um, I don't really have payment plans. It's customized depending on what best suits the client. That being said, based on your financial situation, we might be able to figure something out to make how to make this work for you today, or at the best case or worst case, create some kind of game plan for the future. That being said, are you comfortable having an open conversation where you are financially right now? Then based off of that, we can figure out what the next step are. They say, yeah, cool. So what exactly is your cash on hand right now? This is how you do it. And I have literally had conversations like, oh, I can't afford it. And then I go on, okay, well, they say, what is your cash in? Like nothing. Well, what do you have available on credit card? Oh, I can afford it. You can afford it then, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they may have fun. They may have fun, so you can go for the close, but sometimes Cole says cash is super important. So this is what Cole says. So got it. So they might tell you like, oh, I have $2,000 on hash right now. Got it. So cash is super important to fund, like this or that. I understand you have bills. Do you have access to credit to fund your business? They're usually going to say yeah, right? And that's like, okay, well, what are we talking about in terms of utilization right now? So this is like, again, this does not work if you have not built no like trust with them because you're literally asking them like, yo, dude, how much money do you have in your bank account? Yo, what does your credit card look like? This is not going to work if, again, you have not built that no like trust. But this is the only way to know if it's a financial objection. So again, partner spouse, you figure out at the very beginning. That's the only way to financial. You ask the qualifying question at the very beginning. If they say they don't have money at the very end, most likely it's not financial, most like bullshit. And the only way to not to know is to like run through this thing. And what you'll come to find is it's actually an uncertainty doubt objection. So I just want to go over that with you really quick. So this to me sounds like uncertainty doubt objection.
And
Um,
I did go through kind of like, hey, are you able to afford? He'd been telling me he'd been running Thumbtack, for example, and he was spending $30 a day. And I was like, okay, well, would you be willing to divert that? Like, are you able and willing to divert that from $30 a day from Thumbtack to Facebook and Instagram? And he's like, yes.
we,
Um,
yeah, I'm not buying that. I mean, I could be wrong here, but I don't mean to be short, but like based off of what you're saying, dude, like it sounds like he has the money.
yeah.
So I'm guessing. And like to be honest, dude, 90% of the people in your niche have the money, dude. And when I say money, again, remember, you don't have a cash and you have a low credit score. Anything else is not a financial objection. So if they don't have the cash, they can put it on a credit card, dude. They can finance it. So that's ultimately an uncertainty doubt objection. All right. So free to fee for this one to get him over the board. We still have to collect cash. This one, he says, yeah, we need to touch base. Third one, what happened?
Third one, they're a cabinet maker. I did the 500. What was it? I either did 500 or 1,000 because they are one of those that was definitely able to afford that. Um, and they said yes. Uh, and they basically, another one of those in the process of basically they got super excited. It's a husband and wife duo. Anyways, they said yes to it. We're in the process of making that happen. There's kind of a couple things there, but we're setting that up to launch.
Okay, so you made the 500 to 1K. Which one did he say yes to? 500, 1K?
500. And uh,
So what's the issue? The issue is he did not have the 500 on hand?
no, I guess at this point it's just a matter of hitting them up again and collecting the cash because they were, you know, uh,
So he did not have the 500 on hand, or he did.
he, uh, damn, yeah, I guess they definitely would have. They definitely do. So
So what was his objection then?
I tried to do it like on the call, and they were like heading into an appointment with another client, I guess.
Okay.
And so I can hop on a call with them like tonight or tomorrow and try to make that happen because
Okay.
yeah,
So basically, you do the sales call, make the offer. He says, "Good, yeah, I'll take that." Hey, man, I'm hopping into another meeting really quick. Can we take care of the rest of this, like, when I'm done, something like that.
something like that. Yeah,
And then when was this conversation?
that was Friday.
So again, I don't feel particularly good about that. Reason being is if something is important, he believes you're the one that solves a problem. He's not gonna fucking leave you hanging from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. He's not gonna disrespect you like that, in my opinion. Somebody that really values you, trusts you, you've sold, that's bought in, they're not gonna disrespect you like that. I don't think so.
I see where you're coming from, and I will add this as well. They had that was by that time that was our third separate phone call, and like it kind of didn't have to do a sales call anymore. It was more of like planning, like making plans. They were that excited, they were that gung ho about it. And I see what you're saying, where it's like, and actually, and here's what else I'll add. They actually weren't going to get started for another week or two because they have another marketer that they're running ads for. And I was like, hang on, we can do this separate. Why don't we just do 500 and we'll do that for a week or two until that guy leaves. And then they're like, okay, cool. Yeah, that actually like we can make that work. And so they were wanting to push it off for and they were I don't know. It's bullshit. So yeah, maybe I guess they weren't as excited as they said they were. But
From what I'm seeing, dude, we have to, okay, so big tip for you, man, is like, if I were you, what I'm hearing over and over again is money shit. So really, one, you got to learn this financial objection shit to like start using it. Two, what I want you to do, man, at the very beginning of your calls during the qualification stage is like, hey, can you afford to spend 30 to $50 on paid ads for us to launch the strategy for you today? And emphasize that. Don't be a dick, but emphasize today. So we have that cash on available right now. The reason I'm asking is and again, if you want to do a double tie down, here's a little trick. The reason I ask that is because I know with a lot of contractors, a lot of money going in and out. Are you in a position where we can literally just launch the ads today and you'd be good to go? Again, practice it if you need to, but I want you to start saying it and don't fucking be shy. I want you to really fucking put because over and over I keep hearing the same thing over and over with, hey, I can't afford it. Like, bro, like confirm whether they have it at the very beginning so that you and I both know. And I feel like a part of it, dude, Aiden, is as I'm talking to you, I don't know, the best way I kind of think about is like, yeah, bro, she loves me. Dude, she loves me. I know I saw her with another dude, but like, bro, just trust me, she loves me. Like that's what I kind of keep hearing from you of like
oh,
justifying behavior.
100%.
Um I know I'm making light of it. I'm joking about it a little bit, but like that's like kind of how I feel in terms of like you want to believe so much that you're just being way too nice of a guy, man.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, big tip is I want you to move it forward in your sales calls at the very beginning during that qualifying. I want you to go ham on that so that there's no excuse, there's no nothing by the time you get to the end of the sales call. And when you get to the end of the sales call, if you do have these objections, so that's going to help you at the very beginning of the sales calls. What's going to help you at the very end of the sales call, dude, is the financial objection stuff from Cole Gordon. So I want you to really prioritize that. And in case you don't know where that is, week 5, scroll all the way down, master the art of objection handling. Week 5, all at the very bottom. And you don't need to really watch this video. You can, but lesson 1, what is actually an objection? Lesson 2, how do you pace the first objection? Lesson 3, how do you navigate the financial objection? Just these 3. Like the issue that you're running into though is this one. It's just this is like fucking hard as fuck to understand. This is like a 1.5
That's cool.
video. So there's just a lot, and I'm not gonna sit there like the you can study this shit and like fucking figure out the jujitsu shit that he says, or you can just have a really good sales call.
Yeah.
So I've just opted to get really good at sales calls, and like I'm just not even gonna try this. This shit is way too fucking complicated. This is easy enough to understand. This is easy enough to understand. So my advice to you, man, is study this, study this, study this. Absolute bare minimum, dude. Prioritize that this week. So that's your tip for the very beginning of the sales call, and that's your tip for the end of the sales call. And I want you to start fighting through this stuff. I want you to start using this stuff. I don't want you to let people off. I think you're just being way too nice. Either that, either you're gonna fight through this stuff and start doing it, or 2, you're gonna adapt the strategy of, hey, I'm just gonna free to fee
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. And I will say this, I have started doing that. I started doing that with a couple of these where it's like, look, if price wasn't an issue, is there anything else that stop you from going? So I'm
You gotta go, you gotta do it exactly as he has it though.
okay.
I don't know if you've been kind of, again, this is not something you can freestyle.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not something you can free. There's an art to this. And I even added a specific line to his script to make it work even better. But yeah, you have to use his script to a T. Or else
Okay.
it's gonna fall apart. Super important, super important. I cannot emphasize. This is like some of the shit that we were talking where I'm like, dude, Cam or Aiden, we're going off script, and it's like you have to say that thing. I'm like, hey man, before we get in, if I have all green flags, I'll let you know. I think it'll be a good fit. If I don't, red flag, da, da, da. Like all those small little things matter. So you can't skip out on that when it comes to Cole's objection, financial objection stuff. Um, okay, so we talked about third. Just really quick, let's do the last 2. What offer did you make? What happened?
Uh, it was Dave Yingling. Dave Yingling. I did the $1,000 and he said yes. I actually, and I was pushing him to do an ACH transfer. This is such bullshit, dude. Where I was like, it's an ACH transfer, okay, because his card was fucked up or something. And he's like, well, I just prefer not to give my bank. I'm like, dude, you're putting it into fucking QuickBooks. Like, and he was telling me about how he uses QuickBooks. And I'm like, dude, you're putting it into fucking QuickBooks. Like, this is not, it's not accessible to me. Anyways, but so he said yes, and it's not an issue. Um,
So wait, he said yeah, but he didn't want to do the transaction online.
not with ACH, I guess, with his bank account. He's like, yes, if I had my card, I would pay that. He's like, I'd do that like right now. Um,
Okay.
but I guess he's
When was,
waiting a new card.
when was your call with him?
That was yesterday.
Okay. So what's the plan of action with him? Follow up? What's going on here?
Yep. So yes, following up. So he said that, well, he said that, he should have that sorted out by Wednesday, but then he called me this morning to let me know because he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the bank and sort this shit out. He's like, if I don't get this figured out, I'll have my girlfriend pay it on her card, is what he said. And then he calls me this morning, where he's like, hey, I'm headed to the bank. I'm gonna work on sorting this stuff out. And it wasn't like I guess, yeah, this is more of that. Oh, I swear she loves me. It wasn't more of like the, hey, can you send me more information? As in, like, he wanted to know more. He was like, we had talked. I had told him I was gonna send him because he was like fascinated by the cost quiz, and he's like, oh, like, yeah, we might want to add 1 or 2 things. He's like, can you send me those so we can like think of if we want to add 1 or 2 more of those things? And I was like, yeah, I'll send those to you. And I just forgot to send them. So he's like, hey, can you still send those over to me? And um, that
Okay.
wasn't like, hey, I need more information or more time or something like that.
Last guy.
Uh, uh, maybe okay, maybe it was just four. I swear I had five, but I think it's okay. Let's just say four for now then. Sorry. I think
So let's do this. I do think that the advice I gave you is solid advice for you, which is, really going harder on the qualifications and really the 30 to 50. And again, the tonality of your voice, really do a tie down on that moving forward. Again, the tip for you to remember is, hey, 30 to 50, is that something you guys can do? Yeah, cool. The reason I'm asking is I know there's a lot of money that flows in and out for contractors. I just want to make sure we're good in terms of liquidity for us to get started and us to be able to run those ads for you comfortably today. Today, right? Today. The other tip is, again, work on the sales call objection stuff. I think those pieces of advice are still going to serve you very well. What I'd like to do, man, is I'd like to come see midweek, maybe give me an update on these guys midweek towards tail, and I'll probably ask you if you don't tell me already. And I just want to see what's going on. And
yeah,
then if at least one of these guys don't move forward, then yeah, dude, she doesn't love you.
yeah.
Just leave me alone. And then we'll revisit and we'll kind of take it from there and maybe, tweak up the offer, do something different. Cool, man. I'll leave it here. I do, guys, have to run. So I'm gonna spend just a few more minutes in here. Um, but anything else, Aiden?
Nope, that's it. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for putting up with me and my lack of sales skills.
No, it's not like us. I'm not putting up with you, man. It's everybody's got a different language, man. And yeah, we're just tweaking things until we get it, man. It's my job. My job is to keep tweaking until we get it. So we'll get there. Um, cool. Um, Riviera Jorge, I got a few minutes. Rapid fire shit. I gotta run. Sorry, last minute, guys, but I gotta run. Um,
So I didn't catch that. You said my name?
yeah. Did you hear what I said?
No.
I gotta run.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
so I can't stay too long. I gotta get going. It's kind of an emergency, so I want to just do some rapid fire things with you guys really quick. I guess like just is anything on fire, Jorge? Is anything on fire, Riviera?
Yeah. Me. I
Huh?
said
Yeah.
me. I'm on fire, but no, nothing bad, nothing bad. I mean, the ads are, the meme ads are doing well, so I'm gonna keep it going. The meme ad is actually doing really well for my client, and then for me, immediately it got cheap cost per lead. So I'm hopeful that that format, my intuition, got me going. So I'm excited for that one. I'm gonna test it across the
Good.
other schools, and then for the 6 week stuff, I signed up for a consultation this morning over Zoom. So we're doing well. So that's it for me.
Good. Do you have a question or anything I could fill you in on?
No, I didn't have an exact question for today. I wasn't expecting to come to be able to join today, but no, just I guess just watching over all that stuff, pretty much the ad so far, and I'm just letting it rip for like another day or two.
Okay. One thing you might want to do, bro, that we were talking about as a group is how we've seen ads change over the past few months or so, and a lot of things just click for me because like I'm seeing the guys like launch ads and you guys get great results, and then shit just dies after like a week or two. And so there's something called I just went and listed inside the general chat. Basically, it's just looking like Facebook is forcing us to launch ads more frequently. So I was sitting there, I was looking at you, Jorge, I was looking at Riviera. You're good. Do your thing. Okay. You want me to keep talking? Can you hear me? Okay. So basically what I'm seeing is that we just have to create more ads more frequently instead of like creating an ad and then making a slight tweak and then it works again. I'm not seeing that. And so it's just like we have to create brand new angles. It seems like on like a weekly or semi-weekly basis. So your shit that's working, great. hope it lasts longer, but I would not be surprised if it works for like a week or two and then we have to create something else.
Completely different.
Yeah. Do a little bit of research on that. Like I just put in the
Yeah.
junk. It seems like it's a new algorithm thing and probably tied to AI and the amount of content that they're getting.
Oh, dang. Okay.
So yeah, basically it's just like, and I talked about this earlier in our coach program here. I don't think that you were here, but basically I was like saying, okay, we need to have some kind of a system. So maybe, for example, on Sundays, we batch create like 20 different creatives. There's probably a way to use AI to do that. Like, hey, take this. Um, and is your stuff 20K 90 days still? Is that the one that's working? Okay, so it's like you have your offer and then you just use AI and then create a bunch of different creators that are very different. Like one is a star background, one is like that type of image, like just completely different kinds of images. And then maybe we have like the copy and we try to keep that consistent. Or maybe we use AI and have it make a slight variation of that, but some kind of a system. And so, 1 to 2 hours a week on Sundays, we're just batch creating content and then we're just testing that as soon as things putter out a little bit. So once every week or once every 2 weeks, we should expect us to be like testing ads out. That's kind of what I'm seeing in terms of like solving the problem.
Oh, okay. Even with like I heard you guys talk about like the pocket theory stuff a little bit. Like that kind of like messes this whole thing up.
I think Aiden was saying like she's like kind of like throwing that out the window. I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's not a thing. I don't know that I don't think pocket like basically what I'm saying is like you know what me and you just did?
Yeah.
Had one ad set and a shit ton of different ads and like completely different kind. They're like so different. They're all so fucking different. It's like that
Yeah.
has to be like a regular on a weekly basis.
Oh,
So you
wow.
have one ad set and like just throw four different ads in it and let that shit rip for a week. And the moment results start putter out, create another ad set, four different ads in there, something like that.
Interesting. Okay, I'll do more research. I've been hearing about this too, like on like YouTube with like media buying stuff, but I was like, "Nah, that stuff doesn't apply to me until now you just hit me with this. So okay.
Yeah. So because I've been like seeing that with you guys, like, okay, back in the day, a year or 2 years ago, we could create an ad, run that shit for like months, and that worked for me. Then it went into, okay, if I create a video ad, I have longevity there. And then I don't want to spend too long here, but like Jeremy was the first person where he basically created a brand new ad, brand new funnel, and it worked for like 3 weeks. And I was like, fuck yeah, bro, like it's working. And I thought it's because of his marketing angle and everything. And then months later, now I'm seeing you, I'm seeing Rivera, I'm seeing Aiden, I'm seeing everybody where they have banger results, 30, $40 per calls, but then that shit only lasts for like 2 weeks and then shit skyrockets. And just duplicating the ad set isn't working anymore. Duplicating the ad set, duplicating the ad is not working. We have to create a brand new thing. Again, with you, we duplicate, it doesn't fucking work. Just so it's like every week or bi-week, we just need to create a bunch of different ads. That's my theory so far. We have to test it, but that's what I'm seeing. And another reason I'm leaning into this is I'm looking at I'm looking at Aiden, and he's getting consistent like results. And the reason is he's consistently creating brand new ads.
So would this be
So
the same applied for like
yeah,
our clients?
so yeah, yeah. So he had like the 3 to 5 clients with a star background. He literally just created that ad again with a completely different background, completely different feel, 80s feel or whatever. And now that's performing. And so he's like
Oh,
constantly
okay.
it's like so like for example, you have your ad with like these people. I don't know, maybe the next ad is like a freaking cartoonish image of that, or it's like a video created with AI and people are slightly moving. It's like a video. So we're constantly changing it up on Instagram. I'm sorry, we're constantly changing up with Facebook, Instagram ads. We're throwing at curveballs.
It seems to be more sensitive with business to business. Like the call funnel stuff, I have to change it every week. The direct to consumer, like for our contractors, it's a lot less that way. That's where like pocket theory is still works actually. Um,
Mhm.
but we're also trying to figure out how the pocket theory and Andromeda are working together in all of this because somehow they are because we've been doing it for the last few months while Andromeda has been live. So we don't fucking know, man.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Point is, like, I feel good about it. Like, I'm excited actually because I was getting a little bit frustrated. Not even frustrated, actually, that's not the right word. I was getting concerned because I keep seeing like like it seems to be like, oh, I'm talking to you guys and everybody's ads and marketing is good and we're focused on discovery sales calls. And I'm like, okay, that's where we should just be. And then a week or two later, now I'm focused on ads and funnels with everybody again. I'm like, what the fuck? Because we were just focusing on sales so much and now we're going backwards. And so now I've just accepted like either we're going to keep doing the cycle of like 1 week we focus on ads and marketing, and the next we focus on sales and just over and over, or we just, if for us to consistently focus on sales, you guys just have to constantly be doing what Aiden is doing. So instead of me working with you, Jorge, like the last few days where I'm like going back and forth with Loom and like, hey man, tweak this, tweak that. No, no, no. Just every Sunday, you just need to be popping a shit ton of stuff out and just testing. And this
Mhm.
way, your results stay consistent and down, and me and you can just
Yeah,
do sales calls.
yeah, yeah. Okay, cool.
That's right. That's right. And so again, like I said, I'm excited about that. If that's true, if this theory is true, that just makes everything a lot easier, makes it predictable. It's like understand it's hard and understand we just have to do it. And
Yeah,
so
I guess just like,
this is just part of the game now. It's like
yeah,
Facebook threw us some new shit. I gotta figure out how to fucking defend myself. It is what it is.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like now that we know this, right? Okay, it's to be expected. So just be ahead of the game. Okay, cool. It's puttering out. All right, boom, new ones. Let's play again.
Exactly. Exactly. I feel a lot better about that than being confused the past like 2, 3 months where I'm like, why is everybody's results keep puttering out and why do I have to keep like why do we have to keep doing this over and over again? And expecting like I've been expecting like okay if we just find a banger winning ad an image ad it should last for 2, 3 months and now I'm accepting like no that's not the case and I just actually feel better about that so
Okay.
but all right bro anything else that you want to go over for you specifically
No, no, that's it.
okay keep me posted regarding the discovery call and all that all the stuff that we talked about if you have questions regarding that preparing for it, just let me know okay
Perfect. Thank you.
Mr. Riviera hope you're doing well bro.
Yeah, doing well. Yeah, I know you have a limited amount of time, so just know, yeah, I'm moving along. Just kind of stressed. I feel like everybody's been all clients from every level are hitting me up lately, just for small things, big things. So, but overall, yeah, I think Mike's cost per lead is like stuck at 23, which is fine. Honestly, I was getting $10 a lead at some point, so it's just like probably the half amount of leads I'm getting. But weirdly enough, just got a lot of leads in the same area, which I'm already closed it with the client, so kind of couldn't work with them from there. It might be just a fluke, right? It was just in the last three, and then I just got a new lead that's in Chicago, so it seemed to finally break the spell. I'm hoping that stays true, and I'm not getting any more New Jersey leads. But that's kind of just more of so an update. As far as what else did I say? Josiah, he accepted he's like really appreciative. He talked about how he does love the program. It's just, he's been kind of, working on other things lately, and he knows that it's really on him for taking all these jobs, and it's not really my fault. But that, he really appreciates the extra 3 weeks as it'll let him kind of round these out and get some closes in. So that's all good. It seems like he's going to stick with me at least for then. And then AY photography team in Oregon. Yeah, weirdly enough, they get a lot of leads. They're getting like a $10 per lead, but they just say like 98% of them just go straight to voicemail, apparently. But now I'm starting to see leads text them today, and then they're just not texting them back or they're not calling them. So I'm like, okay, well, you guys were hounding me all weekend about these aren't real or these are fake and this, and they finally get some real leads, and now they don't even freaking call them. So I guess I've just been dealing with stress, but and I don't know what you can do about that, but I just wanted to fill you in. I think I need a yeah, I think like kind of what you've been talking about. If I see the freaking cost per lead balloon up, I think I just need to focus on creative, but um and I hope these new leads that I'm getting aren't going to be in the same area. And I do have a discovery call tomorrow, so I'm hoping that goes well. But yeah, more so just an inform you update. Um, I don't think I necessarily need anything other than maybe from Mason, like on how to connect the ad manager thing to this guy, because apparently when he gets to and I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I know you got to run, but um they sent me something like, have you ever seen that, Mason, where it says, sorry, something unexpected happened, try again, invalid request, and they're in the ad manager, but yet they can't see like any of the campaigns or anything?
Yeah, so I'm gonna run through your stuff. Message us about that because Mason's actually not here and he had to
Oh,
leave.
okay, he's not here.
So,
Gotcha.
so things to move along. So regarding this, yeah, you already know. Is I think from what I'm seeing is like keep the offer the same seems to be working. Like for example, Aiden had 3 to 5 new customers and then 3 to 5 new. It seemed to work, just completely changed up the way the creative looked. So we'll still stick to the offer that we have that's on the
Mhm.
counter page and just we probably have to start getting in a place where we have to keep testing things out. Um, like I'm sorry, like having more creatives as I think so. Here's another thing I've noticed as well is like whenever we do find a banger of an ad, like we have what Riviera had, which is like 4 solid weeks where it just works. And then once it putters out, then you have to like freaking create ads like once every week, every 2 weeks. That's what I'm seeing. So I think Riviera, you have may ridden out the honeymoon phase. And it might be time for us to like just constantly create new ads, new creatives. I'm glad this worked. I don't think it's necessarily like a green. I think it's kind of a red flag when somebody is doing other things. It's okay if somebody had like, for example, I look at somebody like Aiden who's extremely busy, but he's committed to the program, and I'm not, I don't view him the same way as I view like a Josiah who like, let's say you're working in a program like the Summer Cheat Code, and then they take up a bunch of weddings like that, they're probably gonna die. They're probably not gonna be in the program. I've seen that happen. Like I've had people there in the program, and then they take on some wedding stuff like Kushik, da, 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 like they never survive. They don't renew. So I don't know if this is the case for him or not. I don't know. We'll see, but you did your thing. And again, I kind of told you like that's kind of what to expect. It just depends on what happens over these next 3 weeks. We'll see. Um, in terms of this stuff, man, like this is just all I can tell you is this is stuff you deal with on your onboarding, and we're gonna have to keep dealing with this until you change your thing to a coaching program. This is gonna be all that small little bullshit. Um, you
Oh yeah,
know.
and before I forget, I did want to talk to you about it's probably a bigger conversation, so I won't get into it
Oh, and
much,
then
but
the other
I am
one.
open to the coaching thing. I've been
Okay.
kind of sitting on it, and this is something I'm not telling you I'm going there. I'm just kind of throwing it into the ether that my mind's kind of going there. Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason not to do a coaching program, like, dude, is like LTV. Because like if somebody does a coaching program, let's say they pay like 5 grand with you, what's to keep them from paying another 5 grand with you over another 3 months? But the thing is, if you're not even collecting 5 grand through the agency model, well then you might as well just do a coaching program and just understand people will be with you for 3 months. Does that
Hmm.
logically make sense?
Yeah.
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 So
No, it
yeah,
does.
message me about that and we'll talk more about that in terms of the coaching program. Um, but I'm glad you're like toying around with the idea. Like this is the only way to solve these kinds of things. Like if you don't want to deal with this kind of shit. But again, that's also being clear in your course and your onboarding. Like, hey man, you're gonna get maternity, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this. I don't know. Like
Hmm.
for you, for me, if I were in your shoes, how I
Hmm.
would mitigate this is on my onboarding. Now it goes into, hey, here's the what you can expect in terms of people that are going some maternity, some are this, some are this, some are this, some are this. We cannot control who comes in through the window. Just expect these, and you have to be open and willing to take them on if you want to make the money. Does that make sense? That's how I would probably. That's how I would position things so that I don't run into this shit in the future. This
Hmm.
one where they're kind of going the same place. uh, I think you can just exclude locations. So if you have clients in a particular location, I think you just run ads to exclude people in that location, by the way.
Okay. Cool, cool. Yeah, I'll look into that if it comes up again. And then
Uh,
that Cam guy, even though I got him in New Jersey, man, I can't even get a hold of dude. I finally got him into Slack, and then I see him like I guess it says he's muted his notifications. I'm like, dude, it took me like 2 weeks to finally get you on Slack, and now you're like muted me. And it's so weird. He paid 1,500, and the dude's the hardest dude to get a hold of. Have you ever had people like that? Like they jump into a program and then like they're nowhere to be found almost, and it's like almost like you're knocking on a brick wall. It's the weirdest thing. I've never experienced it. Usually when people put skin in the game, usually that's when they're invested in, it just,
the
yeah.
only time I've had that is it's not a good sign is somebody pays and then they kind of ghost and then they ask for like a refund or chargeback or some shit. Because and and the reason they're not talking to you is because they're having second doubts.
Hmm. I mean, when he does talk to me, he's trying to figure out we're trying to do the back end, but he's so slow to go back and forth. It's hard for me to complete it, right? Like it's always something I need from them. And I even offered a Zoom call. And I'm linked up as a partner in the Facebook ad account, but as you guys know, you have to assign assets. So that
Mm.
way, he needs to assign me to his Facebook. He needs to assign me, and I gave him a Loom video, and when he watches it, it's like 10% retention rate, and then he ends up just sending me his business ID again. I'm like, bro, that's not even what I asked for in the
When did
video.
you so let's say you close on Monday, did you onboard him on Tuesday or did you wait a few days?
Next day, yeah, next day on board, and I told him step by step what was going to go down. I feel like I was as thorough as I could be. I mean, I could probably,
Out of
go
the
with the
out of
group
the four out of the 4 or 5 people that you've closed, is he the only person that's like kind of not following
engaged.
directions? Yeah, if that's
Yeah, like not engaged. Yeah,
could
and
just be
not
a
really following the protocol kind of stuff. Kind of I mean, if I mean, we all have crazy amount of tabs, but that dude had like 1,000 tabs. So I don't know, and he had a cluttered room, so I don't know if he's like super ADHD and it's hard for him to like maybe some things get lost to the wayside. I know he's a teacher and he goes from Philly to New York to New Jersey teaching different classes. So I don't know if it's a matter of just he's being like he's a disheveled person. But he seems to strike me in that type of way, I would say
Okay.
a little disheveled, which kind of worries me about him doing these calls and like, okay, what happens if I give this dude leads if he's this bad at responding to me? So,
Yeah.
yeah, a little worried about that. I mean, dude, at this point, these guys, I mean,
We're
it is,
gonna
if they give a chargeback, I haven't spent their money. I keep it in a keepsake just in case, you know,
solution
doomsday scenarios.
solution for a lot of what you're talking about, man, is just a coaching program, dude. Is what it is. Um,
That's what I have been thinking about it because I'm just like,
um,
and I feel like I tell people like it seems like they kind of like as if they don't get like a couple leads, if the leads go from 4 a day to 2 a day, they're immediately on my ass. Whereas dentists are happy with anything, and it's just so weird that they'll be on my ass for that. I got 4 leads yesterday. Why not is it two today? I'm like, and then I have to educate about it fluctuates and this and that. And I've already kind of told them about that in the onboarding. Like, you're gonna have days that are just gonna hit, and you really want to judge things week by week because it can all come out in the front of the week on Monday, or it could come kind of sprinkle through the week. I kind of so I've told them enough, but it's just I just feel like as soon as it slumps a little bit, they're like, let's try this. Let's add this question in the instant form. Like they're spitting game to me on like what's the optimization to make. And I'm like, I'm almost thinking, I'm like, well, if you're so confident that your moves are your moves, why don't you run the ship? And I just am playing as coach and I'm gonna tell you the moves to make but it's on you if you don't want to take it, right? Versus I feel like I'm held to a standard. If I don't hit that standard, they're like they think whatever they say is going to be gold or they have the best optimization because they're like Daniel can't hold it up. So I think if we tell him what to do next, he'll punch in our ideas into the ad manager and he'll do our work for us.
out of the 4 clients that you have, how many people are treating you that way?
Um, just the AY photography team, and that's kind of annoying because they're like a team of five. So on Slack, they're all like constantly asking the same questions. So it feels like 5 clients, even though it's a team of five, it's one client. And then Sasha was kind of like that, or Josiah was like that, and I got him to finally understand and kind of like I basically Sasha and Josiah were like that, and I finally got them to a place where they just trust the process and they understand the game and they understand the rules of the game and they understand like what I'm doing. Actually, I'm actually doing stuff. I'm not just sitting on my hands. If your leads died, they think like I'm out in Maui drinking a martini. Like I feel like the way they come at me
Again,
but I've got them away from that, and now I feel like with the AY photography team, it's a little harder because, like, I'll tell one person that I'll Slack channel them all, I'll tag them all. We all have the shared channel, and they don't read my answers or something because they ask the same questions. So I just feel like the communication's kind of tough there.
so a few things. One, it's definitely like a niche has to do with it. Like, dentists are wealthy versus these people, again, not nearly as much money. So it definitely has an impact. Two, it's definitely like part of it is your onboarding and like what you're saying. It's obviously like not enough if you're running it 1 out of 2 times, right? So it's a 50% rate. If it was 1 out of 5, I'd be like, okay. But if you're saying Josiah and her and them, then something is going on there. Third, it goes back to the same solution of like the coaching program and just doing it and empowering people to make the right decision for themselves. So all that to say is like we'll probably play around with that, transition to coaching offer sooner than later then. So that's that. I mean, I don't see any like, emergencies or anything like that. Just really quick, I guess like are your ads up to date, your KPIs?
No, I wish they were. But only in the last week, I would say, since the last call, I just got 5 leads, and 4 out of them were in New Jersey. So it's like, and then the one I'm gonna have a call with is tomorrow. That's in Chicago. So I'm hoping that broke this kind of curse of this location thing. I could probably exclude that location now. I kind of slipped my mind that I could do that. So But yeah, the KPIs are from last Monday. But the only thing that's changed is I got like 5 leads, I think.
Okay, so you got five, so probably within the same number range then. How many sales calls have you had? Um, for your cost per live discovery call, book sales call, cost per live sales. So
Yeah,
you've
those
had
sales calls they no showed. So
okay, so you've had nine live sales calls and you've closed like three. So we're good. We're chilling. Yeah, no real red flags, man. For me, sales are like marketing. Again, just we're gonna have to get in a place where we have to create more ads if this ad doesn't start getting you results like before. And then sales, you seem to be okay. Service delivery, what we're gonna change about this is probably just the mechanism. We'll probably change it over from an agency to a coaching program, and I'll walk you. That'll be a process for you.
mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, cool, man. Anything else you want to go over?
No, that's it for me.
Okay, cool. Righteous, how you doing, man? How was your call?
It was good. It was good. I booked the sales call for Wednesday at 11. Um,
Good. Hell yeah. Good, good. Okay. Um, anything else notable from your discovery call?
I definitely just got to get the reps in since it's been a minute since I've been on the call. It was like a little rough in the beginning, but as I went along, I started to get back into the flow of things. And he was pretty excited. He liked the questions that I was asking him, like the personal ones. Um, but he's pretty cool. He kind of reminds me of the client I closed in Memphis, Jose. So this will be funny to kind of see what he how he is on the sales call.
Good.
Yeah, he
Okay.
did watch the mechanism video, so I made sure that he watched that. He said he liked what he saw there. Um, but overall, I would have to like watch it again and just kind of review everything to give you a better like input. But I think I did good for the first call. It's been like a week.
Okay, cool, cool. Um, in that case, I mean, anybody have anything else that they want to go over? Anything last minute? Questions, comments, concerns? Cool, cool. All right, guys. I'll see you guys next week.